Getting the whites, the all whites, but we're getting the script helmet for the road trip versus Notre Dame, the destination to which all paths have led to through this offseason, through spring, through fall camp. It's all culminating in week 3 in South Bend. The Aggies are traveling to take on Notre Dame. Notre Dame, top 10 team, at their place for a chance for A&M to put an early stamp on the season, man. I'm so excited for the game. I'm sure you are too. Been thinking about it a lot. I'm excited. I'm hopeful. I'm nervous. I'm nervous for this game. We're going to find out who A&M really is. We've had 2 weeks of watching this team. A couple of tune-ups, you want to call it that, that's fine. UTSA is a pretty worthy adversary, but a couple of tune-ups for all intents and purposes. You've been dominant, but you haven't been clean. You haven't been perfect. I mean, no one's perfect, but you've been far from it. But you've seen the flashes, you've seen the signs, you've seen the pieces. And this is the first real exam. High-level opposition, national stage, everything counts, everything's heightened. This is where you show who you are, who you want to be, and if you're able to be that. Because Notre Dame's going to bring out the absolute best in you, or they're going to beat you. This is a losable game, man. We know. We're going on the road against a really good football team. It's all on the table right now, man. All of our hopes, all of our dreams, it builds up to this. And the team knows that. We watched the Pulse. We've watched player interviews. We've watched Elko. It's been aiming to this weekend. It's been aiming to this game. They've been working towards this. It's been a ramp up to this game, and this is where you learn everything. This is where you learn about yourself. I picked A&M in this game. You all watched my prediction and preview video. I picked A&M 34-31, and I'm asking you guys 1 to 10. How confident are you in A&M heading to South Bend? My pick 34-31. I think I'm like at a 6, man. Let's say 1 through 4 is like you're kidding yourself with your pick. Like, I'm just being a homer. 5 is like, I don't know. 6 is like, I think we're going to win. But it's going to be tough, man. They could very, very well win this one. Notre Dame's in wounded animal mode in week 3. In week 3, they're in wounded animal mode. How often does that happen in this sport? Especially with the 12-team playoff, man. This is supposed to be the college football with second chances. This is the second chance, the only chance for a team without a conference championship. Most likely, there'd have to be a lot of chaos, and they'd have to win out if they were to lose this weekend. We're playing a very dangerous team. A team with a coach that's been to the national championship. A team with the best, maybe player, one of, in the country, in Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price. I mean, you throw him into like the top 10 running backs in the country as a backup. Offensive line that, was shaky week 1, but is supposed to be a Joe Moore finalist unit this season. A quarterback that overperformed as a redshirt freshman in a loss. And a defense that brings a lot back that was really, really good last year. Loses some pieces, but they bring back a lot of good stuff. It's a team with championship pedigree. They've been at that level. They've been at that stage. They've had their backs against the wall. They've been through all the adversity you ever can on a path to the championship. Lost to Northern Illinois last year. They're not going to bend over. It's not going to be easy. They could beat us. They could beat us, and that's what makes it so scary, man, because we're not going to feel good if we lose this game. We're going to feel terrible because this is the first one, right? This is the first dress rehearsal. Not even. The test. It's losable. But the opportunity in this game is ginormous. It's huge for A&M. It's huge for Elko. It's huge for Marcel Reed. I'm going to start the show by talking about that, but first I want to say what's up to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. This is our last call-in show before the game, as it always is on Thursday nights. Thank you so much for coming. Hope you call in. If you get your score prediction right on a call in this show, you're going to make the Hall of Fame right there. If you predict the score correct, you'll be written in Sharpie. You'll be in the background of every show until the board fills up and we have to figure something out. So try to call it in. Try to call your shot. Let me see if the call-in room is open. It's open. I see Tyler in there. I see Play to Win in there. I'll get to you guys in about 10 to 15 minutes. We'll start the calls. I want to go through a couple things, but I certainly want to say what's up to everybody who's hanging out with us today, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Noah 2 Wavy, I see you. Those white script helmets are fire. They're fire. They're icy fire, dude. They're white hot. It's amazing, man. We're going to be at the national stage. We're going to look good. Let's play good. Let's match the way these jerseys look, man. Eric, good to see you. Great song choice. Saw a lot of compliments for the Tool. I love that. Tool's awesome. Jay Wynn, howdy, my bros. We need a W this game. I totally agree, man. We need it. We need it so bad. Carl V, good to see you. Jeb, good to see you as usual. Troy says, I'm so ready. I'm so ready too, Troy. I'm going to switch to this one because we don't have the things on the screen. Troy, I'm ready too, man. This is what it's all about. This is what college football is all about, man. These primetime games, these primetime matchups. I'm grateful for the 2 games we had before because we got right. We experimented. We didn't have to run this running back room into the ground that's coming back from injury. About to work that passing game. Welcome, Mario Craver. Welcome, Casey Concepcion. Let's go have some fun in South Bend. I asked you guys, what's the confidence level? Spicy Deluxe says 8. It's very confident. 9, lucky number, and 9 confidence. That's some confidence, Jay. I like it. Chris, good to see you. Troy says 7. Okay, that's a fair one. That's a fair one. Good to see you, DH Odom. Jeb says 5 to 6. I'm right there with you. I'm at a 6. I picked A&M. So I'm just on that edge of the spectrum, and I think we win. It's a good-ass game, man. This is one of the hardest games I've ever had to pick on this channel, man. It's just such an intriguing game. We'll talk more about it in a second. Noah Tuwavy, 6 to 7 confidence level. Yep, sounds about right. Fitch says 7 to 8, a little bit more confident. Carl's got a 9. Damn, Carl. What's up, Tyler? Good to see you, man. Dylan, good to see you. Grayson, good to see you. Fitch transferred to Texas. Say what? Fitch is a traitor? This is a new storyline we have to follow. Lit Sparks. It's about to show what the Aggies have been cooking. This is it. This is it. This is like presentation day. This is what you've been building. It's crazy, man. The defense hasn't impressed, so for this reason, I'm going 27 to 24 Notre Dame. I agree. I mean, this defense gives us question, and that's the dicier side of the ball, in my opinion. But I think A&M could put up 30 on Notre Dame. I think they can. And that's going to be the difference between winning and losing this game, I think. Because we're going to give up some stuff. We're going to give up some explosives. We're going to see Love run. It's going to be frustrating. This offense has to punch it in, man. This offense has to punch it in. For us to score 34, the offense would really have to be clicking. They can be. There's a good chance they are. Play to Win says A&M 27, Irish 21. I like it. I'll ask you more about that when you call in. I see you in the waiting room. Notre Dame fan, I give you 33 to 40% chance of winning. That sounds about right on the road. That sounds about fair. Thanks for being here, Ramblin' Ryan. Notre Dame, like you said, is going to play desperate. They can't. Not that they don't want to be 0-2. They cannot be 0-2. Not with the rest of their schedule. I mean, USC can maybe build up and become some sort of substantial win, but they need this one on their resume. They're probably better off winning this one and dropping one they're not supposed to because they need a quality win. They value this. 9 says, don't be fooled by the basic game plan for the first 2 games. Elko's been planning and scheming for 2 weeks. I hope so, man. I hope so. I think that's right. I'm honestly glad game day isn't going to be us, says E-Bone Capone. Yeah, that's been a curse, right? What's up, Noble? Season begins now. 100% it does. 100% it does. Fitch says, Grayson, learn your role. Gosh. Grayson. You done messed up here. You got the wrath of Fitch coming. Normal, just showing support, Drew. Enjoy the game. Thanks for being here, man. I will enjoy it. We'll be here live, man. We have the watch party going for the game. I'm going to try to go live for the Tennessee-Georgia game before, and we'll just transition that right into A&M Notre Dame. Oh, my. It's going to be surreal, man. Palpitations, heart medication. Heart rate's going to be like 130 sustained throughout that game. I can't wait, man. It's crazy. It's happening. Chris, young Alpha Cobra, you going to play the uniform video on stream? I did. I started the show with it. My Dolphins are a dumpster fire, so hopefully A&M wins. It looked bad. Sorry. Noble Guy says 6.9. I'll take it. All comes down to run DM 5 to 6 also. That's right. I'm picking A&M, but it's 5 to 6. My confidence is a 5.5, says Joshua. I'd also bet my life that we win, and that's the dilemma, right? We'd bet our lives, and we're betting our well-beings that A&M will win. Therefore, we acknowledge this is a losable game. We will still feel like shit if we lose. That's just the curse of sports, man. That's just how it goes. If we lose, which is very possible, season's not over. Look good doing it. Give yourself, and secondary, give the fans confidence in this team because you have a very, very, I won't say easy, but workable homestand coming up and a bye week. Bring something with you. Take something with you to this bye week, A&M. That's a big factor here, too. If you're not going to win it, feel good and feel like you're making progress. 7 says bad seed. All right, 7's decent. 7's decent. 8, I like it, Caps. Bro, I did not. Okay, we have conflicting reports here. I'm gonna need some proof of the reality here, Fitch. I think I'm gonna trust Fitch. I think I'm gonna trust Fitch on this one. Caps, they won't be able to score enough to keep up. I think we're both scoring a lot in this game. I think we hammer the over in this game. If you tread the treacherous path of betting on A&M football, bet the over in this one. 31-28 A&M, says Eric. I mean, I think A&M picks on 21 all night. We have 4 players like Tony, and he torched 21 all night. Yep. I mean, even Christian Gray, I think he's number 6. Not 15. 15's Leonard Moore. That is a Thorpe Award candidate early in the season. Christian Gray, really physical player at the other corner. Really good tackler. Does get beat in coverage at times. So, Mario Craver maybe? What's up, HB? Good to see you. Expecting big things Saturday. I hope so, man. This is a playoff play-in game for Notre Dame. We lose, it's over. Notre Dame's going to fight for it. 100%, man. This feels like a playoff game in week 3. It's crazy. Crazy. John Peroni, good to see you. This is definitely a pre-playoff game. This is Reed's coming out. It really is, man. It's a big game for Marcel Reed. All right, guys, I'll get back with you in just a second. Get in that call-in room. The link is pinned in the chat. Just click that. Super self-explanatory. Don't use your camera. You don't have to if you don't want to. You'll be in a waiting room, and I'll pull you guys in one by one in the order in which you get in there, and we'll talk Aggie football. I'll get your score prediction. But, John, it is a big game for Marcel Reed. It's a big game for Mike Elko. It's a big game for the Aggies. Quickly, just kind of going through some of the stress points. This is the ultimate test for our run defense, right? Half a game versus UTSA and a play. That thing was really bad. Run fits, but really tackling angles and tackling itself. A lot of arm tackles in game 1. UTSA, I mean, they have a good running back, decent offense. They ran too much on us, even with that being true. Very concerning half of football and a play. We were wondering if that would be something that plagues us the entire season. And it might be. And this is the game that tells us. So I'm looking at defensive ends. I really like our D tackles, especially the top 2 or 3. Defensive ends setting the edge. Safeties run fitting. I trust these linebackers. We got a lot of good stuff from Marcus Ratcliffe. Now he gets to prove it at a higher stage. Bryce Anderson, we got to take good angles. We got to tackle well. We got to make good decisions. Those are the areas I think are going to be immensely stressed in this game, because I think Notre Dame looked at Miami and said, this is a team that struggled in the secondary for an entire season last year, defined their season with that secondary last year. We're going to come out throwing the football. We're going to come out running RPO against the secondary. That was a matchup play. That was also a play to get a young quarterback comfortable and in rhythm, because you were probably going to need that passing game later in a close game. They wanted to get that done early. Now, if they're playing the matchup versus A&M, they're going to knock on that door and say, A&M, try to stop Love. Try to stop Price. Try to stop CJ Carr running, because they're doing it. We thought that was a Riley Leonard thing. They're going to run everyone. They're going to have 3. Aeneas Williams. Third string is good too. He was good in the playoffs. I think it's Aeneas Williams. Ainias Smith is not who I'm talking about here. They got ball carriers, man, and they're going to use the hell out of them versus A&M, so we will be stressed where we are nervous. I will contend that some of the run fit and tackling stuff was just game 1 symptoms. We know A&M only scrimmaged once this fall. We know that was, one of the few live tackling drills they had gone through so far as a team, and it got a lot better in the second half and in Utah State. The tackling was a lot better. Run fits were a lot better. However, this is still a light defensive line. This is still a safety room that needs to be tested. It will be tested, and that is going to be a defining factor in this game. Flipping the ball. Receivers exploded onto the scene, man. We love Craver. We love KC. I like Bussy as the third guy there. I mean, if Bussy's your third best guy, he's coming on. It's a matter of time. If Bussy's on covered by the slot guy kind of suffered for Notre Dame. You might have an opportunity there. You might have an opportunity with whoever's not covered by Leonard Moore. Whoever, gets that opportunity needs to make it count. This is a hell of an opportunity for these receivers to prove what they've shown so far, to show that this is one of the better receiver rooms in the country, because they have shown that ability through 2 games versus lesser opposition. Can that transfer to a really high-level secondary? And, of course, Marcel Reed. And that's where I want to stop and focus for a minute. Thank you, John Peroni, for bringing this up. Because this game, more than anything, I think comes down to number 10. I trust the offensive line. I trust that our running backs are getting healthier by the week. We talked about the receivers. Like them a lot. This is Marcel's moment. First time as true quarterback 1 of A&M. We've gotten through the dress rehearsals. It's been promising. Passing 72% adjusted. That doesn't account for drops. So he's had a couple drops. 72% passers so far, not including drops, is really good for his dress rehearsal. But now he's walking into South Bend on a national stage, top 10 matchup, great defense. Everything this offseason, the fall, the reps in spring camp as the quarterback one, reps through fall camp as quarterback one, the ramp up, it all comes to this. And I think Marcel's proving that he has made a very intentional effort to improve as a pocket quarterback. There was an article that came out today by CBS Sports. I'll show it to you guys real quick. I'll read an excerpt from it, talking about Marcel Reed's offseason work. I would highly recommend this article. I think it's Chris Hummer. You look him up on Twitter. All right. It's a whole article about Marcel, some behind the scenes, what he's been doing through the offseason. I think they sat down and had lunch with him. But here's a piece about what Marcel's been doing in the offseason. Reed, whose adjusted completion percentage sits at 72.7% through 2 games per PFF, made mechanical adjustments this offseason to reach that aim. He began working with Dallas-based private quarterback coach Jeff Christensen, whose clients include Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield. Klein recommended Christensen to Reed, knowing Christensen could help Reed shorten and occasionally elongated throwing motion. Christensen made a few changes with the sequencing and load phase to speed things up. It's working. Reed is getting the ball out more than a quarter of a second faster than he did a year ago. 2.84 seconds versus 3.11 seconds last year. And I think we're at least for sure seeing a willingness to sit in that pocket, a willingness to go through progressions. Hasn't made every pass, but he's made a lot of them. How much better can it get? And does it translate to a high-level opposition? They're going to blitz him. They're going to make him feel uncomfortable because Marcel Reed has seen a salient drop-off in production when there's pressure. Doesn't have to be in his face. Doesn't have to be right on top of him. If he feels a blitz, he does get sped up or he holds onto the ball. This is an opportunity to right that wrong. He's seen it through 2 games. He's been good, man. He's been really good through 2 games. But this is where you must take your next steps. Notre Dame is going to design this game for Marcel Reed. We heard in their practice this week, they have a receiver simulating as Marcel Reed. They're heavy man coverage team, but I would wager that these defensive ends are going to be very contain-oriented, not necessarily pinning their ears back. They're going to keep him in the pocket. Probably going to see spies. You're going to have man defense. You might have a linebacker on a spy. You might have some green dogs. You might have some defensive ends on spies. They're going to be containing him. That's going to be a priority. They're going to make him pass the football. They're going to dare him to win as a pocket passer, not as a scrambler, not off script, but in rhythm from the pocket. Can he do it? Can he do it? I think he can. I think he's fully capable, and I think this is the test a player like Marcel Reed can't wait for. And if A&M wins this game, Marcel Reed comes out on the other side as one of the most talked about quarterbacks in college football. It's a primetime game against a primetime opponent, and it'll be 3-0 against a really good team. He's in the conversation nationally, maybe even fringe Heisman talks. But more importantly than any of that, he cements himself as the guy at A&M. This is the end of the honeymoon phase. This is the final test from early Marcel Reed, getting your feet under you, to Marcel Reed, the guy. This is the moment where he goes from promising young quarterback to the unquestioned leader of this team. And I cannot wait to watch him with this opportunity at hand. I love this guy. I love him as a leader. Let's go out and kick some butt in South Bend, man. Let's go out and kick some butt. I wanted to get that off my chest because I saw a lot of comments about Marcel through the videos I've dropped this week. Such an opportunity for him. Such an opportunity for Mike Elko to cement himself as the guy at A&M. And again, it's not a must-win game. It's not. You got everything ahead of you. You got a homestand coming up. You got a bye week. It's a non-conference game. But winning it is just such a giant opportunity. All right, let's catch up with the chat. Then we're going to get right into the calls, guys. Texas Outboard Jets with a $10 donation. This feels a familiar feeling. So many paths to victory and come up short. Well, let's make it different. Let's make it different. That's this team's task right now. You know, you've had a lot of promising iterations of A&M come up short. And that's why you're on this next head coach. That's why you're with Mike Elko. A lot of belief in Mike Elko nationally. I believe in Mike Elko. He can prove it right now. He can get ahead of the curve right now. Because you can prove it down the road this year, but why wait? Don't wait. Do it now. Thanks for the $10 donation, Texas Outboard Jets. Brennan says, Drew, I've been enjoying the content since last season. You're doing great, man. Thank you so much, Brennan. I love doing it. Can't wait to rant a bit. I can't wait to hear your rants, Jeb. 38-34 A&M is the pick. Shootout. That's shootout territory, Zeppelin. I love it. I think it's possible. I'm saying low 30s, but high 30s. I think it's on the table, man. 31-27 Ags, love it. What was Marcel's injury? All we heard is big hit, and he's fine. There was a clip that came out of him at practice by the Instagram account. They were doing like one of the post-Instagram like questions as the players leave, and Marcel Reed was in full pads walking out of practice. I'm assuming that was from this week of practice. Those are typically recorded like the week that they come out. Their strength is their secondary. Front seven can be had after watching the Miami game. True. It can be had. And you look at this linebacker group and you say, okay, there are studs in here. You got Sneed. You got Viamuasu, who that guy's freaking really good. Boubacar Traore playing outside linebacker / edge. Drake Bowen is supposed to be like their quarterback of the front seven, a leader, a tenured guy. But they looked vulnerable, and that's why I switched my pick, because I saw vulnerabilities at both lines of scrimmage for Notre Dame. Now, to be fair, Miami might have the best lines of scrimmage in the country on both sides of the football. They actually might be the best on both sides. They're that good in the trenches. But I still thought Notre Dame was going to have like this dominant offensive line, and I didn't see it week one. You can chalk that up to week one, but it gave me enough doubt to just tweak this pick a little bit. Still a close game. Notre Dame can still win it. They can just go and, that could all just be thrown away after this game, because week 1 to week 2, plus a bye week, it's improvement time for most teams. I also think we need to put up points and keep this as wide as possible. Don't want the refs effing this up for us. I'm not going to cuss unless I have to. We'll cuss during the live show, during the watch party on Saturday. But yeah, don't let the refs screw this up. Keep it without question. Don't make it close. It's going to be close, though. We're going to try to open it up, but Caps, it's going to be a close-ass game, I think. We need to make Carr look so bad the national media starts calling for Freeman to start Kenny Minchie. Carr looked pretty poised, man. He really did. He really did week 1. And if we can do that, that's a feather in our cap, man, because he's going home now. That was on the road where he started. Also, special teams, I think, looms large in this one as well. We have a lot going for us in special teams. In all facets, man. Knock on wood. Special teams has been so good to us, both kicking and returning. James, I've seen your prediction, 34-13 Notre Dame. There's no way in hell this offense scores 13 points, even against the Notre Dame defense that peaks. You're getting to 20 this game. I mean, they could win by a couple scores. A&M's not scoring 13, though. Too much pressure on Carr. We will get this one. If they can't establish a run, we're winning this game. If they have to rely on Carr passing and A&M's pass rush gets to pin back and we can stop the run, we're winning this game. I'm not so confident we're stopping the run, though. If we can slow it down, that's a path to winning in a shootout type of game, a low 30s, high 20s kind of game. I think that's kind of how it goes, and I think the winner will be who it is. I don't think we stuff their run, and I don't think they're going to rely so much on Carr because of that. But if we can, A&M wins. Carl. Thoughts on two things. Edge containment. Is our offensive line being good enough to impose their will and open holes for our backfield? I hope so. They have not been clean. Last game, they mauled at the first level, but still not getting to the linebacker level as clean as you would hope. In UTSA, it was really bad, especially early in that game. They got better over the course of the game, but I'm still not seeing them hammer linebackers like I want to. But we saw that from them last year, and it's gotten better progressively. It hasn't peaked yet. It hasn't gotten close to that yet. The hope is in a game like this, it brings out your best. You're playing your true playbook. You're doing what you want to do. Let's see what happens. That's a big thing. Offensive line has to play well. 31-20 Aggie, says Brennan. Yeah, Reed is at 66% with the drops, and without the drops, Reed's above 70. Yep. I want to see Reed play his game, not just sit in the pocket to prove a point that he can pass. No, it's not going to be to prove a point. It's that Notre Dame's going to stop him from running. They're going to try to make him be a pocket passer, is more so the reason. Yes, he gets less accurate when he's pressured, so protection has to be great. Running back protection has to be great. We saw that screw us in the red zone last game. Got to protect Reed. I'm heading up to South Bend. It's going to be great. Enjoy yourself, Dane, man. I wish I was going. I have to budget, but I'm super excited to do this watch party on Saturday. I hope you guys can all come stop by. Is Notre Dame more imposing environment than Florida? Marcel seemed like away environments don't bother him at all. Yeah, he did well at Auburn, too. I don't know if Notre Dame's as imposing, but that fan base is going to be loud, live. It's their home opener. It's a primetime night game. It's going to be comparable, but it doesn't have like that closed-in wall feeling. It's kind of like a bowl-style stadium. So as far as just the walls rising beside you, it's not going to be as imposing in that regard, but it's going to be freaking loud. It's going to be energetic. It's historic. It's one of the best venues in the country because of the history and what Notre Dame is. Touchdown Jesus, man. Wish I was going, but I'm glad to be here with you guys. All right, let's go right into the calls, guys. Tyler, how you feeling, my friend? Tyler, you with me? All right, I'll give Tyler a chance in just a second. We'll go right to play to win. Tyler, I got you second in line right now. Play to win. How we feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good. Um, no, I came to decisions 27-21 A&M. That's a lot of scoring. That's close to the over under. I think the over under is 49-5.
Yeah, you'd be just under it.
Yeah, and I see us scoring 3 touchdowns, 2 field goals against Notre Dame's 3 touchdowns during the game. But over
Okay.
4 quarters, that's a pretty good bit of scoring. I think our defense is really step up. Our offense is, we're shored up with a better wide receiver room. Our tailbacks are going to be, I think, doing a great job, and being able to, or you know, different plays is different. Fresh legs, tailbacks coming in. Amari, EJ, all of them. So I like our chances. I think it's going to be a rough crowd because we're coming into a team that is kind of like they're back against the wall. They're playing at home, and they're desperate.
Yeah.
They're 0-1. And the way they played Miami, that's why I really like our chances playing against and a good Notre Dame team compared to the other 2 teams we played weren't that bad. They gave us a pretty good football game. But I think overall, that we come out ahead. We're going to win a game it's going to mean a lot to Aggie fans, to all of us. And just by, having a better team than like last year when we met Notre Dame, we have Marcel Reed. He's our man. Back it was, Connor Wigman last time.
Yeah.
And I hope he's doing well. I wish him well.
I think he's doing pretty well at Houston. Yeah, man. I mean, I think the defense played well enough to win. There were some really bad plays the defense gave up, but overall, you were in that game late with a chance to win, and maybe you're a decent quarterback away from getting that one at home last year. And that just shows you how much a quarterback can swing a game. So I talked about Marcel for like 5 minutes earlier. It's his opportunity, man.
Yeah, it's just like with the opportunity to win against Texas last year at Kyle Field. I mean, I think some bad play calls at the end.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think, but this time Colin is going to bring out. He's going to bring out the stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because we've
he has the toys now. He has all the toys he could ever ask for.
There'll be more jet sweeps and power eyes and Bob tray options. It's going to be, I think, a little more complex, and I think our players are ready for the complex. They're ready for that complex offense.
Yeah.
And we didn't, we didn't show all our cards in the last 2 games.
No.
I think we played pretty much straightforward football.
Yes, and one advantage that I haven't talked about much is that Notre Dame had to show a lot more versus Miami in a game they felt like they, had to do that to win than A&M has had the first 2 weeks. Also, though, other side of that token, they've had a bye week. They're going to approach this game a lot differently because it's a different team, and they get a better picture of what their team needs to adjust. So there's an advantage there, too, but there's also an advantage to A&M not having to show anything.
Yeah. And, Notre Dame, I mean, well, what can you say? It's Notre Dame, touchdown Jesus.
Yep. I know, man.
We're going into it. We're going into to the mouth of the line, but I think our boys going to come out great because, they have. I know they've trained. They're practiced. They're ready. And I watched Mike Elko last night and Andrew Monaco on the Elko show.
Yep.
And I watched the Pulse, and they know them. Our players know how big this game is.
Oh yeah.
And they want to show the national audience at 6:30 Saturday evening, that we can play football with the best of them. And we proved it last year. Like I said, we won against won against Florida, won against Missouri, won against LSU. And at the end of the season we came up short. And but I don't think it's going to be the story this year. I think this year, like I say, we go 9-3, possibly 10-2.
Yep.
We'll have to wait and see. And it's going to be a season to remember. I'll put it to you that way. Mike Elko's got these boys ready. The coaching staff, no doubt in my mind, we're going to go out and give them 100%, and we're going to make the Aggie fans proud. Another thing I want to know is how many Aggie fans are going to be there. I mean, are we talking 20,000, 30? I don't know. That'd be great.
30 would be crazy. I think it's an 80,000 capacity stadium. I'd wager somewhere 20-ish, around 20, give or take. I think it'd be somewhere in there. I think we're going to, as anyone, when a primetime team travels to Notre Dame with your season still alive, people are going to want to make that trip. So I think we'll see a nice Aggie contingent out there. I won't be a takeover or anything like that. We'll have a good section. But all right, Play to Win, man, I appreciate the call. I got your score written down. It was 27-21, right?
27-21 A&M, and kind of the point spread, I think it's like 6.5.
Yeah. We win, we cover. So, all right, man. Cover. I appreciate the call. You have a good one.
Okay, bud. Take care.
Adios. Oop. All right. Tyler's back in the studio. We're going to get him on real quick on what he just talked about and what we heard in the pulse and from Elko. Sounds like they've been building towards this game. Sounds like this has been the journey, what the journey leads to. It sounds like it's all been charted to this Notre Dame game. It's what they built up to. That's great. You're building for it. You have a game plan for it. You're ready for it. You're going to come out alive, active, lit, whatever. You got to play within yourself. I don't want to see guys too amped. I'm like a coach. I don't want to see guys doing stupid stuff. Let's play our football. Let's let this focus you up more so than get you over amped for this game. Tyler, you're on. How you feeling, my friend?
Hey, Drew, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Hey, man. Sorry about earlier. Man, good to talk to you again.
Yes, sir. Been a while.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like I know everything about the pregame on this, and it was yesterday that I was like, I'm done reading. I'm done listening to all the pregame podcasts. Like, I know what I want to see, what I need to see, and I think I know what to expect, too. It's like I firmly believe that this A&M team would be the Notre Dame team last year in week 1, just because of how I just feel like Wigman was just really not throwing the game away, but just really limited us last year. And just
yeah. I mean, there were plays there that our quarterback disallowed us from making, and he's doing great now. He's doing good at Houston. Happy for him. But he had himself a really bad game, and I think defensively you played well enough to where if you progress some of those drives that interceptions, bad balls, discontinued, it's a totally different game. So you throw like this version of Marcel Reed into that game, I think it's very different. So
how do you feel about it? You changed up your prediction, right?
Yeah, I changed it to A&M winning. I'm a very low confidence level in that pick. This is one of the toughest games to pick because I'm kind of with you. I've exhausted the amount of evaluation I want to do going into this game because at this point we just need to see it, and it's still early in the year. So how much do we really know? How much are we going to figure out before we get into this game? But I saw enough, mistakes by just lackluster play from the Notre Dame offensive and defensive lines in the front seven to where I switched my pick because I thought Notre Dame's clear path to win was just mauling A&M, was that offensive line just bulldozing A&M. Love goes crazy, Price goes crazy, and they can very well still do that.
Yeah.
But I saw some uncommon bad plays from Anthony Knapp, their left tackle, Emil Wagner, their right guard. Their right tackle, also their right guard. Offensive line didn't play clean. Defensive line early in the game when they had some of the smaller guys out there got pushed around a bit. I mean, there was some tackling stuff, but I would assume that's a week 1 thing that could get better for them very quickly. But I saw just enough for me to switch a very, very close pick. And for A&M, I feel like my preseason thoughts on A&M really haven't changed that much yet. I don't think I've seen enough in those 2 games to sway me either direction. So that being consistent, just enough weakness from Notre Dame to where I switched it, but it's still like a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 confidence level pick.
Sure. Well, and here's the thing. I think it's funny because based on the first 2 games that we've played, and I know, podcasters, they have to comment on what they've seen.
Yep.
But almost all of them were like, where's the running game? Is it must be bad? Like, what? And I thought it went without saying that obviously we know what we have in our O-line. We know what we have in Le'Veon Moss. That's like I thought that went without saying that we were just going to keep that under wraps and work on the new shiny toys. Like, we got two badass speedy receivers, and so why not, work on that? And then obviously when it comes to primetime matchups, you go back to your strength. You're going to put the gas, and you're going to just floor it, I think, with Le'Veon Moss, assuming he's 100% healthy. And I hope he is. But
Yeah, I'll touch on that. I will say that I thought that split, the run pass split, was a little bit more dramatic than I would have expected versus UTSA. But again, it wasn't surprising, because not only do you know what you have in that offensive line and your running backs, I mean, you got a lot of guys coming back from injury, right? Like, you don't want to rake those freaking carries up in game one versus UTSA, where you felt like they were going to sell out for that run anyway. Might as well break in this passing game. Might as well force feed this passing game against this opponent that you think you can do it against. Because they basically dared Marcel to pass. They had players sticking in the box for an extra couple of seconds, even on drop-back passes, just to make sure A&M wasn't running. They had all eyes on the running game. So, of course, run this passing game. You want to do it anyways. And then versus Utah State, we saw them not really go to it heavily, but around 10 carries for Owens, 10 carries for Moss. You saw a reasonable workload for both of them, and they did well. So it builds up to the Notre Dame game, where obviously everything's on the table. I said at the top of the show, you're going to be what you want to be in this game.
Yeah, you're going to have the opportunity to be whatever you want to be. Mm-hmm. And I think it's almost strength against weakness. I think Notre Dame, they're suspect in the interior D-line. We can run the piss out of the inside zone. We can use, Le'Veon Moss, Ruben Owens. Even he might be more used to, outside, zone, but he's that change of pace back. Their secondary is probably one of the best in the country.
Yep.
But we have a strong intermediate threat, and we have probably one of the best RPO threats in the country. So I know they have athletic linebackers. I know they lost Jack Kaiser, was it?
Yep.
And so you kind of like, it's probably hard to go up against a Marcel Reed, Colin Clyde, RPO. But with their linebacker crew, I think, it's a decent matchup. But I still think Marcel Reed's, he's had a whole season, almost a whole season under his belt.
Yep.
This might come down to who the better quarterback is. And I thought Carr was admirable his first start, and he's probably going to be not just fine, but he might even be really good.
Yeah.
I mean, on paper at first, I was like, it's hard to look past because of the logo, because we're A&M.
Yep.
It's a big game on the road. I texted my dad earlier today. I was like, last time we won a non-conference on the road game, a ranked non-conference on the road, was when you were a senior in college. I think we beat Penn State. And then, the last time that in conference was probably 2014 when we beat Auburn. So, but none of that shit matters, man. What's fun is I'm just going to enjoy this game. I think it's going to be a really fun game to watch. And I hate that that Notre Dame lost to Miami, because now they're just they're backed into a corner.
Yeah, I was asked that question on one of these shows. Would you rather them win or lose to Miami? I was like, I want them to win versus Miami, because they're holding nothing back against A&M. Not that they were going to, but it could heighten their urgency. It could increase the focus just a little bit more in practice, knowing that it's all on the line here. So hopefully A&M can match that energy.
100%. And everyone's like, Notre Dame, they just can't start 0-2. They can't. I'm going to take Notre Dame because there's no way they start 0-2. Because they don't play anyone the rest of the season. And I'm thinking, well, that's their problem, you know?
Yeah.
You schedule two prime, USC's, not very respectable. You schedule two credible opponents, and it's in the beginning of the season. You could very well lose to Texas A&M, and it doesn't matter that they're the second game of so I think that's what's fun about this game is it's like a lot of people just they can't fathom, Notre Dame going 0-2.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, who's the better, we get to find out who the better team is, who's going to execute better. And, I'm worried about the run defense, but it's going to happen. We're going to get there's going to be big runs. Notre Dame's going to have some big runs. We're going to get gashed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I like our secondary, dude. I like Tyreek Chappelle at nickel. I like Will Lee. They've got some, receiving talent, but I prefer our secondary over their receiving threats, honestly. So I'd really like to see us just almost sell out for the run, like stack the box, put Ratcliffe in there, maybe even on some place run bring a third linebacker, bring Jordan Lockhart in.
Yeah.
Because if they want to throw, let them throw. It's a freshman. It's a new quarterback. Elko, it's like just wait till third down and we'll see how you do. Because Elko, I think, is just going to throw the sink at this, and that's kind of his trademark. And I hope we see that. We should see that.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. Let them beat you in the air. If the redshirt freshman quarterback goes out and those receivers beat this secondary in the air and we're stopping the run, I mean, tip of the hat. Good job. You won the game. You have a really good quarterback. But we have to make them do that. I'm totally with you. You sell out for the run. I mean, you put these corners and these nickels on islands against these receivers and let them go to work, because I too like us in that matchup. I really like that trio right there. Now, Bryce Anderson, he's going to have to tackle well this game. But I really like our corners in nickel, man. I really like them in this matchup, and couldn't agree more, man. They're still going to find running success, but we can't let it tee off consistently. We have to force some long downs. We have to be able to get into our blitz package. We have to make CJ Carr a thrower at points in this game, a lot in this game. That's the path to winning right there. That's the path to slowing them down.
Yeah, and even though the matchup against Miami, they didn't give it to Love enough, or maybe they did, but they're going to give it to him more this game. There's no way that they don't feed one of the best running backs in college football the ball more, and it's just going to happen. But yeah. I don't want to say it's going to be a shootout, but dude, I really like our offense. I know it was just 2 cupcake games, but we didn't even use what our strength was. And yeah. I was at my buddy's house the other day, and he's an alum, and he asked me, he was like, "So, like, who's our best player?" And I almost said Casey's Conception. I almost said Marcel Reed, but I was like, wait a minute. And I just started playing Le'Veon Moss's highlights from last year.
Yep.
And we're sitting there, and I mean, I had seen it, but I had forgotten about it, and we're both just grinning ear to ear.
You forget, man. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he had 10 carries versus Utah State. That makes me feel pretty good about his progression, because I was honestly thinking it would be like 5 or 6 for the first 2 games, and then they try 10 this game. But if he got 10 last game, he can get 10 again. I mean, that's good. That's a good little workload for a guy coming off of a big injury who looks to be pretty healthy. I mean, his recovery has been remarkable, that he looks like that. He looks the way he looks after, what we found out this injury was. But yeah, man, it's super exciting. I also love this offense. I think we can get to 30 on them, but if we don't, I'm a little worried, because I think they're going to get high 20s at least against us as well. Let me get a score prediction from you, Tyler, and I'll get you out of here. I got a couple other callers here.
All right. I'm going to go 31-28 A&M. I think Moss, I'd hoped recovery wouldn't be a word at this point, but assuming he's 100%, I hope he gets at least 20 carries, and I hope he goes for 100 yards, and I hope we get 160 something, combined rushing yards. No interceptions. Reed shows his experience against Carr, and we attack the nickelback, and we just go to work.
Yep. Love it, Tyler, man. Good call. Hope to hear from you again, man. Let's beat the hell out of Notre Dame.
Let's do it, man.
All right. Good call from Tyler. We'll catch up with the chat real quick, then we'll get to Lit Sparks. See a bunch of people in here. Drewtamu better than Thursday Night Football. Yeah, we go toe-to-toe with Thursday Night Football, so appreciate you guys for being here. Do Notre Dame fans get unruly? I'll say this. There is not a fan base out there that when you introduce students, football, and alcohol, they don't get unruly. But I would say Notre Dame is on the very, very, very low end of that spectrum. Any game where you have opposing fan bases in the stands drinking and watching football, things happen. But I think we're pretty safe with Notre Dame, so don't worry about that. This is going to be the first game they sell alcohol there? Interesting. Good to see you, Joe Long. Klein has a perfect opportunity to change the narrative around him. Yep, that's what this season is. There's no excuses. There's no reason not to have a really good offense this year. You have all the toys you could ever want. KC and Mario, along with the running game from Le'Veon and Ruben, will be awesome on offense. Then throw in Marcel Reed in there. Marcel improving as a passer. Yes, sir. DVS Xavier. Yes, sir. Tide Fans editor has Notre Dame 27-21. I say you guys find a way. Appreciate it, Barnes. Barnes is our Bama fan who comes in here. Good to see you, Barnes. Thanks for the prediction. Notre Dame also has 3 5-star recruits in the top 32. We can maybe hurt their recruiting. This is a big, big game for their program, man. You'll want to see the follow-up for Marcus Freeman making it to the championship game. And all he did last year, rebounding from that Northern Illinois loss and running the table to the very end. This is the follow-up to that. And they really feel like this is a big program kind of shifting kind of game. Maybe shifting's too dramatic, but it can be like it's just a pivotal game for them. This is huge for them. Bigger than it is for us, but the opportunity for us is also massive. And if to pull this off, great opportunity, 100%, Daniel. I see something like a scoop and score happening. I would love a defensive touchdown. I'm hungry for one. Sorry, I missed some of the chat. Has anyone talked about how DJ Hicks is doing? DJ Hicks has been up and down. He's had a couple of good pass rushes. I think DJ Hicks is going to be fine. You know, I think we're happy that Onyedem and Regis are there to take some load off of his shoulders, but I think Hicks is going to come on. Hasn't been dominant, hasn't been bad. Let's see him keep progressing. I look forward to Klein and Elko rolling out the running game as well. I think they held back some in the first 2 games not to show all the cards and ease Ruben and Le'Veon back in, says Kelly Clark. 100% agree. It's wise to not, force feed those guys coming off of such significant injuries when we have this game looming, and this is the time to do it. Trooper Drew. What's going on, Drew? Wish I could call in, but I'm at work. I'll listen in though. 31-24 Aggies. Well, thanks for being here, Trooper. Hope your shift goes well. Lash, good to see you. And let's read it off. A dose of reality here. A&M has 5 road games. We'll only be favored for sure in 1, the Arkansas game. We might be favored against Missouri, but weather will likely be a factor there. That's all true. Let's win some of them. It's going to be tough. We got to break that trend. But again, like Tyler was just saying, that's just the logo on your helmet. That's just history. That does not have to be a reality. It does not have to be. But it is tough, Lash. It's very tough. That's what makes the schedule tough. It's the home-away split. Your 3 best opponents, we think, are on the road. Just blitz on defense. Let them sweat. Notre Dame needs to feel the heat. Let's make them feel it. Lash says 27 Notre Dame, A&M 17. Maybe. I think we score more than 17. John says real Aggies know we're going to get embarrassed. That's what makes you a real Aggie? I'm a fake Aggie then. I'm fake as it can be, John Smith. I'm so fake. But I'm ready for that, says Texas Outport Jets. That's called years of battered Aggie syndrome, John. Get some sleep, and hopefully Saturday will be good for us. If A&M wins, you have to oil up on the stream. I'm going to be acting a fool on this stream all night. We'll be going until midnight, beyond midnight, if A&M wins this Saturday. It'll be an insane party with Drew popping Miller Lights and maybe some tequila after the win. Lit Sparks, you're on with Drew. How you feeling, my friend?
Hey, Drew. I'm feeling all right. To your question on a scale of how do I feel, I'm going to go a 7. I was leaning 6, but we know Klein hasn't pulled all the tricks out of his bag yet, and so hopefully we'll see more on Saturday that work against the Fighting Irish. I was looking back on their openers, and I know it's going I know Marcus Freeman, when it came to home openers, has always had that iffy start.
Yep.
I think the first loss was Marshall when he took over.
That's right.
So I don't know. It'd be awesome if that's the case for us.
Yeah, it was Marshall, and then last year was Northern Illinois was the home opener. So there is a trend there. I mean, who knows if that factors in this year. Yeah.
But yeah, I know. I think what everyone said so far. What is there not to get excited about on this offense after what we've seen? We know that we still got plenty of tricks. Hopefully, we show that our O-line can show the force on the line. I think that's going to really open up that play, either if we show up balanced or just one-sided running the ball. But
they have to play well. They have to play clean. They have to get to the second level very well. Exactly. And we know we have the personnel to do it. So I expect a good game from the offensive line. I really do.
Yeah. One of the things I was thinking about on last year's game was we had quite a bit of flags, if I remember right. So if we can make sure everyone understands Elko's system and then play a clean game, that at least will help. Then it's just more performance level rather than
Oh, it's the refs that ruined it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had 6 flags, I think, versus UTSA. We only had 5 versus Utah State, but we had very untimely flags. We gave them life. There were like 3 defensive flags on their 2 touchdown drives, and that just cannot happen on the road at Notre Dame. You got to take that out of the refs' hands. You got to play clean for sure.
Well, and also on that return, I think it was Utah State. We got dropped back because of a flag.
Yep.
So hopefully we can, if we do end up starting with the ball, we're not messing up that first play with just a flag. Because, man, that was a lot of yardage.
Oh, yeah. We can't do that on special teams. Special teams has to be clean, man, because that's a huge advantage for this team. How many good, field position starts have we had so far this year? Because of just not touchdown returns, but good returns, 20, 30, 40-yard returns. I mean, we have that ability. That's in our back pocket. That's part of our team. So you got to make those count. You got to capitalize when you get past that 40. You got to score on those drives.
Yeah, I heard, and I will say I would rather have the odds against us. Gives that more chip on the shoulder. You can talk to the boys before they go out in the field. I do think that Riley Leonard probably has helped that O-line a lot more in terms of looks, just because of how he could extend plays with his legs. And with Carr, we know he can run, but we didn't see that as much. I'm trying to recall. I wasn't able to watch the Notre Dame Miami game. So
yeah, so they ran him like way more than expected in the game, and he's clearly not the runner that Riley Leonard was. I mean, he's an athletic quarterback. He's a true like high 4-star talent. He has that ability, but I don't think he has the instincts that Riley Leonard does. I don't think he has quite the escapability that Riley Leonard does, though he had a really, really good pocket escape, like a double rollout to throw a touchdown pass against Miami. So I think he's more mobile than I think just a typical pocket passer, but he's not Riley Leonard. And I would be surprised if they run him as much as they ran him in versus Miami. I don't know how sustainable that is for such a young quarterback. I think they're going to want to use that arm a little bit more and just use the running backs a little bit more. But yeah, I've been talking to a couple Notre Dame fans, and I've been listening to a lot of Notre Dame fans. And yeah, I think they agree that Riley Leonard helped their offensive line in protection quite a bit. So maybe the offensive line, not quite as good as pass pro as they are run blocking. And we love Cassius Howell. I mean, we love some of the interior guys. I think there's a world where Marco Jones has a big play. I think Rylan Kennedy has a big play. I think we have some really good pass rush guys. I'm really excited to see that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that too, especially if we can control the turnovers.
Yes.
I know that was a killer. And especially on away, if you can make it quick where you take out the fans, well, that would be a huge step.
We can't have a slow start, man. We've had some slow starts recently. I'm thinking South Carolina, Auburn, even in the short sample size versus UTSA, it was a slow start. We've had slow starts to halves in both of our first 2 games. And to be fair, Notre Dame had a slow start in first and second half against Miami, but last year I think they were a really good middle 8 team. They were a really good before and after halftime. They started second half really strong quite often last year, but A&M cannot afford to start slow again on the road. That's where you have to show your maturity.
For sure. Well, and I also like how we're coming in now with the older QB, because Notre Dame's always had a more senior level transfer come in the last few years. So for this to be now the opposite from what it was last year, where Connor was injured, so we didn't get to see too much on what he was progressing, to now we have the older QB. Hopefully, as everyone's been saying, it's a coming out game for Marcel Reed, and he gets stamped on the media for what a game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting sick of hearing, is Marcel Reed really a passer? He's just going to run around. He's just going to make things happen. It's like, Marcel Reed knows what weapons he has on this offense. His legs are a luxury. His legs are a weapon. But we have playmakers that we want touching the football, and Marcel Reed knows that. He's going to try to get him involved, and I think this is a game where he can really show his growth.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be quite the rock fight again.
For sure.
I think it's going to be a closer game. So my score I'm going with is 27-24 with a special teams ending it.
Nice.
And we get out with the win.
Beautiful. I love it, man. I hope it comes true. It's a super, super intriguing game. I agree with you. There's so many fun matchups in this game. You look at our receivers versus their secondary. You look at our defense versus their running game. It's a super stylistically intriguing game. But all right, Lit Sparks, I appreciate the call. You have a great night.
You too. Bye.
All right, that was Lit Sparks. 1 minute break. We've been going for almost an hour now. I got to use the restroom. Be right back. Noble guy, you're on. How you feeling, man?
Oh man, it's we're here.
here.
I'd said the season is, I think, finally here. I guess these kind of games are good in the sense like this is our preseason. Everyone forgets first kicking off the first month of the season that really there's no preseason. Everyone's kind of getting warmed up, and so you kind of get thrown into good teams can look ugly early on. So
Yeah.
it's ironic because the I think going into the season before the games, I felt like supremely confident. I predicted 10-2, including a win at Notre Dame, and then based on like certain people's reactions and what I of course saw in the game myself, it looked like people were bailing on that. They're like, "Oh no, like our run defense sucks, and everything's terrible again." Blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you reflect on it. The really cool thing was in that week 1 game, you saw the bad run defense. A lot of people were like, where was the running game? But in week 2, you just saw them completely correct exactly what they did wrong in game 1. And not that week 2 was perfect. You still had those drives where you were just like, what are you doing? Those penalties that were killer. You got beat a couple times. But you addressed exactly what you did wrong in a game. And you just kind of realized like that was a good offense. They dropped like 39 the next week, UTSA did. Mm-hmm. This is a game 1 for A&M. They're pulling out all the stops. A&M is not pulling out all the stops because they know what they have at Notre Dame a couple of weeks down the road. Yeah. And you gave up some big runs, but you cleaned that up. So could it become a long-lasting issue, that run fit, the tackling? Yes, it could. But I don't think it has to be. And I don't think that's something that's in stone yet for A&M, but we certainly will find out against Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think like the thing is like what gives me pretty good amount of confidence going into the game is that I do believe in the offense. Like I know we've only played like a couple UTSA and Utah State so far, but
yeah,
I mean I think that stuff will translate. And we obviously saw a very pass-heavy version of it. It looked more like a spread offense almost, and because I think going back, if you look at like pass to run in this case, like we were like going like 2-1 pass to run, and then knowing Colin Klein, it's probably going to be like 50-50 probably going into the game. And so I've been thinking about like how are we going to best attack them and how they're going to how we're going to defend against them. I think the key matchups will be the safeties in both on both teams. I think of our safeties because until like we can prove it, and that's going to be over the course of several games, not just one. I do think we have a penchant to leak out a big run. I think our run defense will be fine, like on the down to down, but then like you'll see us get gashed. So it's going to come down to like, can the safeties, keep mitigate it to like a 30-yard gain instead of 75-yard gain.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And nothing over the top. I think I think the plan is still to load up on the defense. I think the run blitz is going to be a high risk, high reward. I think for the most part, it will be more beneficial because we will stuff the run if we just commit to it. But then we just got to make sure we play completely, sound. And then another thing is like, I think you pointed out or someone else did, is like as good as Love is and Price, like they're not a run heavy team in the sense like they just hand the ball off every down. They run a ton of RPO. Like if at Denbrock, like they called the game against Miami very similar to they call most games. Like was it a little bit less love maybe, especially for a freshman quarterback, but I mean like even in his time at LSU with Jane Daniels, a lot of QB runs, a ton of RPOs, so it's truly 50-50. Really when it comes to like the run to pass options that they give the quarterback the ability to make the choice. So I think we can like the benefit to having Elko and a relatively veteran defense back is that we can run a lot more exotic looks than Miami did, who has a new DC and a lot new personnel, and the Miami defense looked really good out there.
It did.
And so,
all right,
and
I'm
then
gonna
on
pull
offense,
up since you stopped on it. I'm gonna pull
Yeah.
up the stat sheet game log for Jeremiah Love last year. And yeah, the most carries he got in a game was 16 versus Virginia. The other games, it's 14, 11, 10, 11, 11. They run a lot of RPO. They do pass these guys the ball, so they're getting touches there too. But these are just big-time playmakers, man. They don't need that 20, 30 workhorse, that kind of game to be productive. These guys are doing it on explosives, on huge plays. Love just looks like a superhero out there, and it's crazy how like good they are on so few carries. But that's great for Notre Dame because they can keep wear and tear low, but still get the most out of their backs. So I think this will be a game where you see it on the higher end of the spectrum, 16, 15 plus for sure, I think, for Love this game. And another factor that was surprising versus Miami is how much they ran CJ Carr with design runs. That was like the biggest surprise to me because I thought that was where Love was going to get more carries this year. I thought that's where Price was going to get more carries this year, especially in short yard scenarios, because that's all they did last year. Like 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, it's Riley Leonard. That was like, you knew that was coming. You get the extra blocker. You maybe catch defenses off guard. You maybe
3rd and Riley.
Yes, 3rd and Riley. That was the play. And they did that with Carr. That surprised the hell out of me, and I think it surprised a lot of Notre Dame fans. And I wonder they could go back to that. I just feel like you're going to see less RPO and more design runs this game. I think that's going to be the big difference.
Maybe, but I think that would be a change just because Denbrock seems to really like his system. He's ran it pretty much like regardless of the personnel, pretty much everywhere. Because I think they did it with Jaden Daniels even too at LSU. Like I remember Jaden Daniels taking some massive hits on some quarterback run plays. I think they called a lot more pass in the day. It's kind of funny because like you don't necessarily think about like Notre Dame historically being a pass happy team.
Yeah.
But they hired a guy who does like the pass, and then he just essentially, this is his version of catering to Notre Dame, is to have a RPO system where it's like let the quarterback make a decision and still mixing quarterback run.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see quarterback run this game. It's not going away, I wouldn't think, because that could catch A&M off guard. I mean, with what we've seen versus UTSA, I could see quarterback run being productive versus A&M, but I would definitely say they're running more design runs this game. But all right, Noble, score prediction. What you got?
I think I'm going 31-27. I think we score enough and the defense just holds on. I need Bryce Anderson to have a good game and just every safety to have a good game.
Yeah.
And then I think I think we've been holding back that run game. Like everyone can calm down about like where's our run game.
Yeah.
I feel pretty. I like. I think Colin Klein has done like he did really well with the talent he had last year, and like we led one of the best offenses in the SEC scoring wise.
Yeah.
And I think he like if we can start fast too. I think the last couple of games we stalled out in the first drive. I think we can, and that would mind you that was with pass heavy play calling.
And you know what happened in both of those drives? In game 1, you had a penalty. I think it was a penalty. Yes, you had a great first down. You force-fed it right to KC first play. Then you have a penalty, a hold. And then in game 2, you had a first down conversion in the hands of ABR, and it's a drop. So you do stop that. Those are sloppy starts. That's, you file that in the sloppy file. That's not what you need to do. So let's clean up those opening drives. I'm with you.
Yeah. But I think the offense is the thing that kind of drives this engine for this game and then this season.
Yes.
I was a little nervous at first because there was a period early in the Utah State game where our offense looked a little choppy, like Elka said. But then that was also like because like the thing is like if a pass happy offense, you run the risk of like you don't complete that first down completion, then you end up in second and long, and then that kind of snowball from there. But I have a feeling like we're going to be a truly balanced team, and I'm excited to see the receivers go to work. Like they're going to run a ton of man-on-man on us, and I think we can copy what Miami did with a lot of whip routes and play action off of our run game to get something deep. I'm excited to see if we can get Niblack going in this game. Holy crap!
Jurassic.
Yeah.
It's time. Let's go to Jurassic Park. You know, I can't wait. Yeah, I think we need to see some Niblack stuff. They've shown some vulnerability in the slot. Yeah, that'd be great. And man, if you throw Craver or KC in the slot, see how they adjust to that. Are they going to match?
I think they're going to rotate them all.
They are? Okay. Yeah, they're going. Oh, A&M, yeah, they're going to play them all. They're going to be moving guys around. They're going to be multiple, just like they have so far all year. So it's going to be super intriguing to watch. I'm with you, man. I can't wait to see how teams respond when A&M shows effectiveness, both run and pass in a game, in a given drive, because they have the ability to do it. They have the players to do it.
And I think Marcel is, like, he's not going to be like a, he might, but like I don't. He's not gonna be like a Heisman contender. But I think he has that. Just because he's not gonna be able to produce on a consistent level, like at the highest level, you think like of a 5-star quarterback maybe. Like, but I think what he is, I think he's got that clutch gamer gene. Because whenever we see him in 2-minute drills, he is so good. He's so good at the 2-minute drill against Utah State. Going back to last season, when even when we had limited weapons, like it's a USC game, he shined. I really like Marcel Reed.
He had a go ahead touchdown late against Auburn versus USC. Yeah, 2-minute drill before the half versus Utah State. You can think about drive 1 against Florida, where this is not a clutch drive, but it was a big time moment in the game where you were behind with a holding call, and Marcel Reed scrambles you out of that thing, has a few completions to move you down the field, you get a field goal. I mean, I think Marcel steps up to the moments, but this will probably be the biggest moment for him to date. It's this or the Texas game, but I think there's more expectations now. It's early in the year. It's a clean slate. Your quarterback won clearly going into the year. This is prove it time for Marcel, man. But I believe in the guy, man. I like what he has between the ears.
Oh yeah. His decision making is really good. I think that's one of probably his best traits. Like I think aside from like a few errant throws, it looked like they were such bad throws that like it doesn't make sense. Yeah. And one was against Texas, and then I can't remember what the other one was. But maybe it was South Carolina. But aside from that, like his he plays pretty well. Like and he leads the receiver. That's incredible. Yeah. Like when his drops are not because like they throw it behind them. Like almost always the passes are in front of the receiver. So when you give that kind of lead with the speed we have at receiver, man, that's exciting to think about.
Yep. Can't wait to see it, man. It's going to be epic. All right, Noble. I'll talk to you soon, man. Let's beat the hell out of Notre Dame. Have a good one.
Y'all too. Bye now.
Adios. All right, moving right along. We got callers stacking up. We got Caps. Tyler's back in there, and then we got Lash. Lash is calling in, y'all. Y'all ready for this? Gotta let him cook. Caps, you're on. How you feeling, man? Oh, you're muted, Caps. Caps, you with me? All right, I'm going to go to Tyler real quick, then we'll go back to you, Caps. Give you a chance to get back in there. Tyler, you jump back on. What's on your mind, man?
Man, it's too big of a game to only just get one call.
I love it. This is one of the rare double calls we've had, man. What else you got off your chest? Get it off your chest, man. Let's hear it, Tyler.
Man, let's go. I almost want to say, let me know your questions or concerns. I feel like I know everything there is about this matchup. But do you think, that Notre Dame's previously known for man coverage? Why not? One of the best secondaries in the country. New defensive coordinator. That's one thing I like about A&M is you're going to have some hesitancy from at least the linebackers and your safeties on, gaps, fits, whatever. Mm-hmm. Do you think they split it up 50-50 or whatever ratio between man and zone? Do you think they commit to one, what do you think about their scheme?
I would say they're man-based, but I think they're going to be very multiple versus A&M. I don't think it's a 50-50. I think they're still going to be in man a majority of the time. But I think their game plan is make Marcel beat you, and they're going to throw him funky stuff. They're going to paint a muddy picture for him. They're going to show coverages. They're going to disguise coverages. I think they come out multiple this game. I think they're going to try to do that to Marcel because I think that's their path to winning. But they have to sell out for the run in doing so, or at least keep an eye on the run because A&M could be dynamic in the running game. But absolutely, they're going to be multiple this game. And I think Elko actually hinted at that in one of the pressers this week. He expects them to be multiple, and it's not Al Golden anymore. It's Chris Ash. But Ash was a man guy himself, I think, and a very aggressive blitzer himself. So I do expect them to be multiple. But, they have guys they're confident in man coverage. I know they're definitely confident in Leonard Moore. But if we get Christian Gray on an island against KC, we got to test that. We definitely want to see what happens there.
Well, not even that, man. I keep hearing about their nickel.
Yeah, I hear that too.
They're a little bit concerned about their nickelback. I think from what I've heard, some of the tape I've watched, Christian Gray is very respectable corner. He's not as good as the opposite side. But, man, the way we rotate our slots, we have 3 slot-type receivers. And, we don't have Noah Thomas, and so far that's been okay. But we have, man, just rotate that Z receiver, rotate that slot, find something you can expose. And I think Colin Klein already has a good idea of how to expose that slot cornerback. And I think that's going to be our key, because it'll be interesting to see the order of operations, because we can run it and we can also throw it, throw drags, throw whip routes, we got a strong intermediate game. We got a strong intermediate threat. You can wipe out the 2 cupcake games all you want. We've got some speedsters, and if you don't respect them, we're going to burn you. And if you do respect them, we have the returning, SEC rusher, average yards per carry or whatever. It'll be interesting to see what order we go in, and I think it all depends on what they show us. So I really expect a lot of pre-snap motion, just to, let's see what they're doing, where they're moving, and go from there. Watching Notre Dame play Miami, watching their offense, it was almost like watching Jimbo Fisher, because it was like, this isn't this isn't a tune-up game. This isn't Navy. This is a huge, you're on the road. You have one of the best running backs, and you don't use them enough.
They got too cute. They got too cute in that game. They were trying to play a matchup more so than going to your guys, is what it felt like they were doing.
It was like watching Devon A-Chain under Jimbo.
Oh, don't even remind me.
Man, I mean, you're on the road against LSU. You're on the road against Ole Miss. Our offense is stagnant, and the only player that is doing anything is our running back, and we just kind of limit, not give him enough. So it was crazy to watch. And Marcus Freeman, I saw some presser quotes today. I don't know how much to take that, how much of that to take to heart, but it was almost like, maybe it was coach speak, but it was like, we're going to keep to what we're doing. And I was like, man, I hope you do. Play man against Marcel Reed and, our RPO game and our slot receivers. Make your freshman quarterback throw. I dare you. I hope you do. But even if they don't, I still feel confident, man. Like, I almost want to change my score prediction. I feel so good about this game. I think
I'll let you do it.
I'm almost worried about the aftermath. Dude, this is how cocky I am, because, like, say we win this game, now you got to coach a bunch of 18 to 21 year olds on how to not be cocky and how to not play down a competition because you think you're hot shit because you won in South Bend to a top 10 team. That's never been done since 1979.
Yeah, and we did not respond well to success last year because you beat LSU, and that was the that was the peak. That was it. You lost some games when you were the targeted.
When have we ever responded well to success since Johnny Manziel? And even then, we lost you, but that was our last 10-win season, man. I know you got other. I guess you have other callers, but do you have any concerns or questions?
Yeah, I'll end with this and be quick with it because I do have some people stacking up in the call. My only thing is the O-line has not played clean football for A&M, and I would think that gets cleaned up for like an all-hands-on-deck kind of game. But what's your confidence level in this running attack? Because they're definitely going to keep an eye on that thing. They know what we have.
Well, I like our O-line. I think our running game should be great. It should be great.
It should be.
But I think it's weird that we rotated so much. Preseason with Zune at center.
Yeah.
And he's all whatever left tackle. He's 6'7". Why would you practice him at center? It's not time to get ready for the NFL draft. I didn't like that. I think it's great that we're, building depth, yada, yada, but I need some consistency. And
yeah.
I wonder if that showed a little bit in our cupcake games, but what do you think? I mean, what do you think? I mean, did you not like the rotation and the?
Yeah, I mean, I like getting Borden in because he has to be ready because he's the next guy in with Fathery out. And I would think Fathery's maybe ready, Mississippi State around there. So you definitely want to get him worked in. And I guess they just like, okay, we need to take Zune out to make this happen. Let's throw Zune at center so we can get that look. It shouldn't be too much of a drop off. I think that was a calculated experimentation there. So that one didn't bother me. And I mean, really... They experimented a lot, man. It was second quarter versus Utah State. Noah Mikael was out there. Jordan Lockhart was out there with him. You had Javon Thomas out there, and that's middle of a competitive second quarter. So they came into that game knowing they were going to do that. More so than that, I mean, of course, if you're not rotating, I feel like you're just better. But I felt like, especially in the first game, it got better in the second game, O-line wasn't getting to that linebacker level very well on their zone blocks, on their combo blocks. I felt like they weren't hitting it like they were last year. But that should be okay because we know this offensive line. And when they're in their package that they know, their five that they like and know, they're going to – I would imagine that gets shaved down versus Notre Dame and they play their guys. I think it should be better, and I think it should be fine. And you know what? I'm with you. I think you talked about their front seven showing some vulnerability. It doesn't look like a juggernaut. It looks good, really athletic, really fast at that linebacker position, but we should be able to move bodies, and I have a little bit of confidence there in them getting that right.
Yeah, well, I'll end on this and I'll get out of here. But I have no problem with Burton getting in. I think that was great.
Yeah,
he's a left tackle, former lacrosse player in the weight rooms. No problem with that. I think that was great. I'm going to chalk up the first two games on the O-line just not playing up. They were like, they're going to play up to Notre Dame, and I feel confident about that. And we're going to see Reed going upfield and smashing some people.
That's how I feel, man. That's how I feel too. All right, Tyler. Appreciate the call. Have a good one, man.
Sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Caps, you're on. How you feeling, man?
Pretty good, man. About yourself?
Not too bad, man. Super excited, a little bit nervous, but I just can't wait to watch it.
Traditionally we don't do very well in these things, do we, eh?
That is correct. That is correct. We got to break some trends here.
I kind of feel like Mike Elko, he's built a culture that's just going to do that, I think they're set up pretty well to do things that we haven't seen in a very, very long time.
Yeah, I certainly hope you're right. That's the hope. That's why you go through coaches. That's why you get rid of the last guy and bring in a guy you feel good about. So it's a great opportunity for Elko, man. This is where he can show that he's that guy.
Yeah, you got a lot of guys that are leaders now. KC setting the tone, in the offseason, talking about, setting the expectations where they need to be. And that's getting to the playoffs, and that's going to win a natty, man. I mean, I really think the focus is in, and they've been preparing for this game really for the whole off season. You get two cupcakes, you get to see exactly what works, what doesn't, and now you get to unleash hell, man.
Yeah, man, I know they're chomping at the bit for it. I hope they can hone that in and make it a great week of practice and play their best football to date, and that's why I'm picking A&M. I think they do that. I think they know the task at hand. I think, like you said, a lot of leaders, a lot of veterans, a lot of guys who have been through this last year, come up on the wrong side of this last year, but played well enough to win the games that they lost. It's time to go win one.
Yeah, I really think it's a good matchup for us. We kind of held back. It just kind of worked on Reed getting the passing game down, and man, that looked beautiful. I mean, some of those option routes and Reed and the wide receivers like right on the exact same page.
Yeah, that
was pretty freaking impressive. And we really haven't seen too much from the running attack because we really haven't needed to do that. We already know what we have there. So, I look at the number 21 Hobbs, Notre Dame. Oh, that guy got picked apart. They threw to him pretty consistently and had great success. So I think we do exactly that. We isolate those matchups and really make them work for us. So, but the key guy that I'm really excited about that really hasn't shown very much. They tried to do stuff last week at Utah State was Nyblack. They targeted him a couple of times in the end zone once. They dropped both. They looked kind of goofy out there, but he would be a really good matchup against those linebackers too. You pick your poison, with Notre Dame as far as our offense. You can't stop all of it. So somebody's going to be one-on-one and somebody's going to be able to make a play. So I just think it's going to work out really well for us, man. I think we're really going to really come on to the national scene with this one, dude.
Yeah. I'm feeling the same way. I love the pieces that you have on offense. You're so versatile. It's so hard to zero in on any one aspect of this A&M team, whereas we're talking about just stopping the run for Notre Dame. But, again, that's why I highlighted Marcel Reed tonight. It's his time. The ball's going to touch his hand every rep. We feel really good about the stuff around him. Feel good about Reed, but now's his chance to prove it. This is the final exam for Reed. This is where Reed goes from promising quarterback to the guy. Can he get our playmakers involved? And I love what you're saying about Hobbs, number 21, their nickel, their slot corner. They had to show a lot versus Miami. They had to show everything versus Miami. So we got a very good understanding of pressure points, strengths, weaknesses, where they're going to attack, where they might fade. We learned a lot by watching that game, and they learned less about us by watching us. So hopefully that's a huge advantage. Hopefully that's great for us. All right, Caps, score prediction. What you got?
Buddy, I think it's going to be 31-21. I think we definitely put up over 30 points. And I think this defense comes to play. I was really impressed with CJ Carr.
Yeah.
If you look at the stats, he matched up perfectly with that old Georgia quarterback guy who's like 80 years old.
Yeah.
He did really well. He only had that one interception because he threw it to the wrong team. But he was really impressive. He really was. And particularly in the fourth quarter, when the chips were down, they really had to do a bunch of stuff, Anyway, putting up 17, that's pretty incredible. So in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So, the one thing, though, that, I think is really going to come to the forefront is, turnovers, of course, it's every game, blah. But special teams, what we have shown with our returners, particularly punt returners, because nobody's going to have a kickoff return in this game at all. Field position is going to be crucial and key, and Tyler White is a freaking weapon.
Yeah.
And Concepcion, he doesn't have to get it would be great if he gets a touchdown. That'd be awesome. But just getting to midfield on those punt returns, getting 20 or 30 yards will be pretty much the difference maker, I think, in this. And there's zero reason, if you're an Aggie, to think that won't happen in this game as well. The blocking has been exceptional. E.J. Smith back there just playing his ass off. That was an incredible. Anyway, I really think that comes up pretty big, and they understand the importance of that as well. It's clear if you're doing that against, shit teams, you're going to be doing that against Notre Dame, So I'm just really excited for that. And Concepcion, he deserves this stage. Thank God he's out of the doldrums of NC State and the Wolfpack.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, are locked in a tight one with Wake Forest. Oh, the ACC. Oh, God.
Good old
Anyway.
Robbie Ashford out there, huh?
Yeah, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, sorry. But, yeah, so I think this is where Elko really shows what he can do. He's got tremendous familiarity with Notre Dame, obviously, and the lights won't be bright. Reed looked great on the road last year.
Yeah.
And he had dick to throw to last year.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the wide receiver core last year to this year, good God, and they Concepcion and those guys, they've basically said that it's night and day. So it's really going to show up here. He's got a slow heart. It's going to work out. I just wish the Aggie faithful would kind of realize that and not be in the battered Aggie syndrome stage of grief and sadness and misery.
We're only 2 weeks in and we're there. I know.
We were there before this season
Right.
even started.
Right.
I think this is going to be an amazing season. So thanks for doing what you do, dude. You're pretty good at it, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the call. This was a fantastic call. I think this is a first-time call for you, Caps. I hope to hear back from you in the future. This was great.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
See you, man.
Later. Well, that's a great first-time call from Caps. Give it up for Caps. He came and he laid it down. He got out, said what he had to say, and I believe him. Jay, you're on with Drew. How you feeling, man?
Hey, Primo, ¿qué pasó?
Not much, man. Just getting ready for a big, big game. Gonna be a lot of fun to watch.
Everything all right? I know you were out this past week, huh?
Yeah. I was out. I had some stuff I was obliged to attend, but got through it, went well, and happy to come back into a active college football season, man. It's going to get really, really dicey here, but I'm excited for it.
Man, I was thinking about yesterday, how long have you been preparing for this game? Months, right? Now we're already like 25% into the season already.
Crazy, man. I know. I like that we get a couple bye weeks. It spaces it out a little bit, kind of calms you down a little bit throughout the journey, but yeah, it goes by so quickly. I'm still enjoying here being at 25% because before we know it, we're in the last quarter, and you're either doing it or you're not.
Oh, yeah, dude. So, man, I'm not gonna stay too long. I got to get back in here what I was doing, but so just tell me, we're 15 games in, right? So what have you seen from Klein that you like, and what's your impression of him so far?
Well, I think it's a very different picture this year than last year. I don't know if Klein was the coordinator to make what we had last year go. We went in with a bunch of possession, slower, bigger-bodied receivers, a quarterback that sits in the pocket, a gunslinger, a promising running game, but that thing dwindled throughout the year by way of injury. And I think there were some good moments from Klein. I think we saw some stuff that he did with Jabri Barber in the short game, the RPO game, that Klein likes to do, and that was good, but it wasn't enough. And I don't think Klein was the kind of guy to take advantage of some of our good stuff last year. But this year, I think this is what Klein wants to run, a dual-threat quarterback, a receiver group that can catch and run. Don't necessarily need to be doing some precise down-the-field passes to this receiver group to get the best out of them. You can use them in your RPO game. You can use them in the short game. And I think the jury's out on Klein until this year, now that he has all the toys he could ever want. A veteran offensive line, a veteran running back room. So I would say the jury's still out on Klein. I think he had his best games versus Auburn and South Carolina last year, where we saw that short stuff, some of the jet sweep stuff, some of the RPO stuff, some screens in those two games. And I think his worst game was sandwiched in between in that Texas game, where it just seemed like, couldn't get a yard, maybe running our face into a wall a little bit, and weren't creative enough. But I love what he has, and I think this is the offense that he likes to operate.
I can guarantee you Kansas State misses him. I mean, their offense is woeful.
They're in shambles.
Bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
But, I don't know if Klein really is looking for a dual threat guy. If you look at Kansas State, I mean, they ran RPO, but I mean, the quarterback running was never really an option part of it. So it was more like, PO basically. But I don't know. I mean, obviously on the two biggest state with three, if you consider LSU, their three biggest games so far, right? I mean, he's been absolutely stoned on pretty much all three of those until, obviously made the change with Reed in the second half of LSU. And I don't know what LSU was thinking. I mean, they obviously weren't prepared for that. But, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, the jury's still out, but I hear everybody saying, we're guaranteed to score 30 points. I'm just thinking, man, he hasn't done it. You know what I mean? He does some things. Maybe I just don't understand them. Maybe it's 4D chess, but I don't know. I mean, one thing in particular, I can't fathom what advantage this gives you, where you take your guard and swing him out to block the defensive end on the straight drop back,
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that either. We did that. Did we do that a lot versus Utah State? We opened the game with that against UTSA, and it got us in trouble. It was just why overcomplicated. I'm not a big fan of that either. It could be building into something down the road. It could be getting those reps under their belts. I don't like it either. I'm not a fan of that. Just drop back. You have a good left tackle. I mean, why you don't need to support him that way.
Why are you going to take a 330-pound dude, make him block one of their best athletes in space, and all you have
Yeah,
maybe
I have to
run.
imagine that's not going to happen too often going forward. I think the couple times we put that on tape, it has not gone particularly well.
No, yeah, that's yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I see us scoring in the 30s here. I think this game is probably going to be. I mean, I think everybody's going to be playing conservative here. I know I would if I had Carr, and obviously, I think our for them to game plan against us is much easier than vice versa. I mean, they should have 50 plus rushes easy, right? I mean, it depends how many plays they get. Let's say they get 75. I would expect 50 of those to be rushes against us. Our game plan, however, I don't know how that's going to work on offense. I hope we don't drop. I mean, in these big games, it seems like he wants to run play action a lot more. And Reed is actually pretty effective off play action.
Hmm.
But I mean, I'm sure Notre Dame is going to dial up some blitzes for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
So
Reed's not as good under pressure. They're gonna blitz him. They're gonna throw stuff at him that he doesn't know what he's looking at. They're gonna try to confuse him. They're gonna throw all that stuff at him because, I mean, if you get that pocket muddy, Reed is a worse passer. But we're hoping that he can develop and get past that. That has to come. But as of now, they have to try that, of course.
yeah, he's getting better moving around the pocket. I mean, there's still some problems there. Last game, he ran into the back of his O lineman a couple of times, but he just has to learn how to move forward. He's still trying to. I won't say he's trying to break the pocket, but he's looking for open space in front of him. That's not what you look for, right? Um, it's a work in progress for sure, but I don't know that Marcel may get he may get benched during the season, right? And I don't think it starts this game, but we've got to see something better in the long ball, right? I
You're
mean,
still
Notre Dame.
predicting Marcel Reed gets benched?
I mean, I just said it for chance. I haven't faced any competition or had any type of performance, but I don't know. I just think it's going to be a struggle with the long ball as long as he's here. And I mean, Miles O'Dill did him no favors throwing that. He throws a beautiful long ball, but
Didn't Marcel have one earlier in the game too?
yeah, he had one to Bussy, right? It was in the first quarter. That was a really nice pass, but
Yeah, I don't see anything that would make me think, okay, this quarterback at some point is in jeopardy of getting benched. I wouldn't have that in my calculus right now.
no, not right now. I'm just saying we'll see what happens after this game, but I don't know. Let me give you my prediction, man. I don't think it's going to be that high scoring. And it's I've been listening to a lot of the Notre Dame guys as well. They don't seem very optimistic, to be honest with you. From a couple of the podcasts. I don't know if you've been on with any of those guys.
I haven't been on with them, but I've been listening to all of those guys.
Okay. Yeah, they don't seem overly optimistic, and I mean, maybe they have their Domer battered syndrome. I don't know, but they sound like they're going to have problems on the O line all year. But I don't, I don't know how good that Miami front is. I mean, they obviously got pressure. What they have, like 4 sacks on them.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good front. I think for sure at least the D line is really good for Miami, but Notre Dame struggled in a big way, more so than I would have expected, even against a good look.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, who knows what that? I don't know. They're saying that a lot of guys are cramping up as well. So,
Yeah, that was a
uh,
thing.
and I know some of their O line actually came out of that game. Um, the tackle, I forget his name, but I don't see us. I don't see this game being that high scoring. I think it's going to be close still. They'll probably win the time of possession. And that's okay as long as we do have some explosive plays, but and we try to keep them out of the end zone, right? Bend don't break. Um, but I think it's going to probably be 23-20 Notre Dame.
All right, got it down.
Yeah. All right. And one last thing. What do you think is going on in the kicking game here? Who's going to kick for us if it comes down to game tying 48 yards.
Oh, it's definitely Zirkle. It's clear now that it's Zirkle. He's handling it now. He won it. I don't know if Bond got cold. I don't know if Zirkle just got good or both things happened. But I mean, Elko made it very clear that it's Bond, and that's Zirkle. I see no reason to lie about that. It's a kicker.
Well, my only thing is, why didn't he take the 50-yarder this past game?
He said that he just wanted to give the guy a look because they're putting backups in. He just wanted to let Bond have an opportunity.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a spot I would have gave him an opportunity, but yeah, let's hope that doesn't come back to bite us. But anyway, that's all I got, Drew, man. I'll holler at you later.
All right, Jay. Have a good one.
All right.
Brent says, let's freaking go. A&M and Notre Dame, 2 upcoming programs. See for what I hope is an epic match. Much respect. Good luck. Go Irish. Thank you, Brent, for the $5 donation. Man, I'm so excited for this game. Hell of a game. Hell of a matchup. So intriguing in so many ways. Brent, I appreciate your support, man. Really do. All right. Guys, we got Lash. Lash, you're on. How are you feeling, man? Been a while. Lash, the mic is still broken. You on a headset or on a mic? All right, well, I was excited. We'll give Lash a minute. Y'all throw anything else you want in the chat. Jump into the calls. I'll go for a few more minutes. We'll give Lash up. Lash is gone. Let's see what else y'all are saying. We'll get out of here in a few if no one else is calling in. Give me the Ags 28-24. It's going to come down to if Marcel can make the timely plays. I agree. I think it's a big Marcel game. I think I like the pieces around him. What do you think the chances are games go like Missouri or Florida last year, like a 42-17 Aggie victory? I mean, I will never say it's impossible, but I would say Notre Dame is much further along than either of those. Kelly says, everyone says we don't need this win on the road at Notre Dame. I say we do. We need this win for the mental of the players. That will help with confidence on other road games this season, in particular LSU. Yeah, that's the benefit of winning it. I mean, I don't think we're at a place where losing a game is going to knock us off our axis, Kelly. I'm just saying I don't think losing is terrible in this game. I just think winning is so big in this one early in a season before your SEC slate. And you don't play a Notre Dame caliber team until, well, Auburn's looking pretty good. So we'll see. I would say the opportunity cost of losing is bigger than just losing and how bad a loss is for a team. I don't see this program in a place to where a loss spirals you. You just don't get the advantages of winning it. All right, let's try them again. Lash, I think we got it this time.
Yeah, the stupid mic went to my iPhone for some reason.
Oh, dang it. Lash, it's been a while, man. You been good?
Yeah, pretty good.
Nice. How you feeling about this game?
Wish I felt better about it. Let's see. Trying to get to the right window here.
Lash, I have a feeling that you're the kind of guy that you have to see it. You're never going to predict it. You're never going to believe in it until you see it. Is that right?
That is exactly correct. Yes.
Yeah. And remind everybody how long you've been an Aggie. How long you've been a fan of the maroon and white.
I am class of 78, so working on 50 years of being an Aggie.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you calling in every time, man. It's always fun. Especially when we talk about what makes a steer a steer.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe I once told you what a Burdizzo was.
Yeah, you did, and we looked it up and we threw it on camera. It helps with the process of becoming a steer. Yeah. It does hurt just looking at it. All right, you got those notes up? You ready to go?
Yeah. I am, like I said, as the late, great Charlie Kirk liked to say, prove me wrong. I've got, I guess you already saw my score prediction.
It was 17-28 Notre Dame, right?
Yeah, 27-17.
Okay.
Marcel Reed shows he can handle a the kind of stuff Notre Dame is probably going to throw at them. Like I said, I'm taking a wait and see on that. Hopefully I'll be pleasantly surprised tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope you are too, man. I mean, this is a big showcase for Marcel and where his development's at. And if he takes a step, doesn't have to be a hero, but if he takes a step and gets players involved effectively, it's big. I mean, that's what you need. So
right, as long as he doesn't have to win the game himself, we've got a chance.
Which he has shown the ability to do against teams that our defense lost the game against. In the bowl game last year versus Auburn, he led last-minute go-ahead touchdowns. But this is a higher-level defense. You're going to need him just to get guys involved, really, is what we want to see, because we really like the guys around him.
Yep. They've got all kinds of talent, but they need something to put it all together.
Yep.
And like I said, we got a tough road to hoe as far as our road schedule.
Oh yeah, first of many this weekend.
As I said in my comment, we're only for sure going to be favored in one. In the Missouri game, jury's still out on that one. They've looked pretty good from what I've seen of them. Their new quarterback's been a pleasant surprise for them.
Yeah.
And our biggest problem with our defense last year was the back end.
Yep.
We had some defensive backs that I like to nickname Toast because they kept getting burned.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And so and the other thing is that the Missouri game is fairly late in the year, and I don't know how familiar you are with Midwestern weather in the late fall. I grew up in the Midwest, Chicago area specifically, and what we call football weather up there, you would call parka weather down here.
Yeah.
Because you're looking like game time temperatures in the 50s. Maybe it's raining.
Ooh.
And I don't know if you've ever been wet in cold weather.
Sounds pretty miserable.
Sucks the life right out of you.
Yeah.
So, it's more important to stay dry than it is to stay warm, because if you're wet, you're not going to stay warm. Water can suck the heat out of things so much faster than air.
Yeah.
And if the weather is cold and wet up there, they're gonna be used to it, and we're not, and that could be the difference in a close game, particularly when it comes to hanging on to the football.
Yeah.
And so until they prove otherwise, I've got them going at best 8-4, and if they have trouble with the Florida and Auburn games at home, we could be lucky to go to a bowl game.
Oof.
With the talent we've got, would be a crime. So I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised this year, but like I said, they got to prove me wrong first.
Yeah, that's a fair stance to take. I think teetering on bowl eligibility, that's maybe some history showing there, Lash, maybe just a little bit, but let's see what they can show you this weekend.
Like 50 years worth.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to preface the call with this. I wanted them to know where we're coming from here. But hey, they have a chance to prove you wrong. I hope they'll prove you wrong, and I hope you call back after they do. If they do, and if not, I know what you'll do. I know it's coming.
I'm not like I said. I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong when I am, but when I think I'm right, I'm like Tom Petty song. I won't back down.
Yep. I know, Lash. I know. Well, I hope we prove you wrong, Lash. Appreciate the call. I got to get to other callers. You have a great night.
Yeah, you do the same.
Good to hear from Lash, guys. If you're new to Lash, We're trying to prove them wrong. It's a lifelong goal that we have no control in. We'll see how we do. All right, I'm gonna go to Gio next because Jeb says he wants to go last. Gio, you're on. How you feeling, Gio?
Hey, gig 'em. First
Gig 'em.
time calling into the show. I'm feeling pretty optimistic about us this year. I see all the old Aggies have battered Aggie syndrome, but I think we're explosive. We haven't been this explosive since 2012, and
Oh,
I'm a little
wow.
worried
You're skipping past Kirk and Reynolds. That's a high bar, and you know what? You could be
time.
right. You could be right.
I mean, with back then with Manziel, we kept performing. You know, we
Yeah.
kept doing it, and I agree that the year ended. You know, we're 11-2, but we expected a lot more.
Yep.
We whooped that OU team, but I feel this offense has that capability. I'm a little worried about the defense. I really am.
Yeah.
Like they can't wrap up and tackle, but I'm excited and optimistic, and I think we have super high ceiling.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I mean, you have all the pieces you could ever want on an offense. You know, you have some people that need to prove themselves. Like, you know, these receivers need to go do it against a high-level secondary, which they have a chance to do this weekend. Running backs have to prove they're healthy and ready to go. A young quarterback has to do it at this stage as quarterback one, but I think all the pieces are in place, man. And, you know, we have a coordinator who's a younger coordinator with a chance to prove himself right now. The upside in this offense is definitely, I think, the highest it's been since 2012. I think that's there. There's a path for him there. Defensively, yeah, it's fair to have questions, man. It was a really, really rough half. You had a couple of busts against inferior opposition in Utah State. They just got to play better football. They got to play cleaner. I think structurally, and I think with the players, I like the personnel, but they have to wrap up. They have to take good angles. They have to be smart in their pursuits. They have to just play better. And I think we saw some of that get cleaned up from game 1 to game 2, but now they have to do it against a better team.
Yeah, and I think that they play better against better competition. I'm real curious to see them against our receivers against their man coverage.
Yeah.
And obviously they're not going to bully them and be more physical, but I'd like to see them, you know, get into open space and get slippery and, you know, have real explosive plays. But again, I'm real optimistic, man, and I'm excited about this year.
Well, do you have us winning this game, and what's your score?
I have us winning 27-24.
Love it. Close game. Yeah, I mean, what do you expect from Reed this game? I think this is his prove-it game.
Just everything, man. I mean, I think Reed has been an absolute stud. I do not understand the criticism against Reed. He's been solid. We've had, you know, horrible luck in the QB position, and this guy's come in since Florida last year and just been. I think he's solid. So I'm very optimistic about us this year. So
Yeah. All right, Gio, man, I appreciate the call. That was good stuff.
All right, thanks and gig 'em.
Gig 'em. All right, good stuff from Gio. All right, Tyler, one thought. I got some guys waiting. Go ahead and lay something out there for us, Tyler. Got you back on for round 3.
Oh my God, man! Has this ever been done before?
This is the first time. I think 2 was the max. We've done once or twice, but keep it just a quick couple blurbs here.
Okay, well, they're going to have some QB spies, but occasionally, you know, it's not like every down thing. So that'll be interesting to see who they pick to spy and how we deal with it.
Who would you guess?
You got me, man. I don't know enough about their linebackers, but I know that they're all athletic enough to.
Very much so. Yeah, absolutely.
I think they're going to spread formation, spread and, you know, threat to throw, but also spread us out so they can run it. And they are going to run it.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Bryce Anderson. I think he's if we go single high, I think I trust him as a free safety in coverage.
Yes, I think I do too. It's just the pursuit angles. It's the tackling.
You know what I mean? Like the 2022 pick in the Alabama game, I think he's okay in coverage. I worry about him in tackling and all, you know, angles. And it's weird because when he was playing as a nickel, as a freshman against Miami, he was just a dog, just tackling everyone. And now he's not. I worry about him. I hope whatever they decide, Brooks or Anderson, that they just take care of business because that's our liability. That's just our liability. One of our safeties is our liability. York's cerebral. He's not as athletic, but I think Scooby, being another year in,
He looks fast, man. Some of those splitzes, he was in the backfield in like a split second. He looks so quick right now. And we've been kind of limiting his touches. I mean, his snaps a little bit. Lockhart got in a lot the first couple games. I can't wait to see Scooby, and I can't wait to see Lockhart too in a game like this because he's going to play. Yeah, man, good stuff. All right, Tyler, if you want to call back in later, that's cool. I'm going to get to the next caller.
Okay.
All right, man. We're excited, man. We're ready. That's a third call from Tyler. I love it. All right. Jeb, what the hell's going on?
Dude.
Ready, dude? Are you ready? I know you're not ready. You're not ready.
I haven't been able to focus all week long, man. I've been watching videos at work in my office, previews nonstop, dude.
Just no work getting done. No, just chalking up the hours, eating the salary, but no productivity.
I've been consumed by all the content, which I'm very surprised because a lot of people are actually taking us to win this game. I'm very shocked.
Yeah, we got Piquel picking us, right? We got one of the Crane guys picking us.
A bunch of On3 guys, I think, chose us too.
Wow.
And then I think Josh Pate, I think he took us.
No, he took us to cover, but not to win.
Okay.
Which is fair. It's a huge spread.
Yeah, dude, this is a game that you really just don't know because it can go either way. It can go in many directions.
Yeah.
I personally don't have us winning this game, sadly. I just think our away history, and I think from what I've seen from these two games, I know it's different, but I just see a lot of inconsistent. I see a lot of good things, but I just see a lot of I see a lot of the same habits from last year.
Like which ones?
I see run fits are still a problem. I think our secondary is just really bad at tackling, and they run themselves out of plays. That to me is still a concern. I think Notre Dame is definitely going to have some chunk runs, I think.
Yeah. I
think you're going to have to, your game plan on defense is you're going to have to stack the box because Notre Dame's going to test you. They are. And I think you have to put pressure on this young quarterback. I mean, they do have some pretty good wide receivers compared to last year, so that's a little difficult too. It depends how much you trust the secondary. Will Lee at times has looked kind of bad, surprisingly.
Yeah, he's gotten beat 3 or 4 times this year against lesser opposition. But man, we've seen better from Will Lee. I think there's a chance they play at a higher, more focused level against.
I think so. I actually believe this. I was actually talking to someone. I think I was watching a video, and they were saying the same thing. You know how LSU beat Clemson, and then they played La Tech and barely beat them. Same thing with Clemson playing Troy and almost lost.
Yeah.
I just think these kids, these players, I just think they know they're gonna win the game, so they're just not as motivated. They don't play up to their opponent.
Yeah, and in the 2 A&M games, in the second quarter, we're absolutely dominant. Maybe some of the best football, even against that level of opposition we've seen in a long time. And then there's just lapses. And then versus UTSA, it was the third quarter. That defense, it was really bad in the first half and in that 75-yard touchdown. But then it was swarming, tackle for loss, sack, spotting a screen and stopping it right away. It was really, really good. We just haven't seen it consistently.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why.
Which way does it go? I
don't know why Utah State didn't steal UTSA's game plan because Utah State was just going to do their drop back passes. Versus UTSA played it perfect. I mean, they blitzed and they just threw screens every time and got the ball out quick. That's how you beat these teams, these bigger opponents.
Yeah, UTSA had a lot more toys than Utah State though, offensively and defensively. Right. I think they had another caliber of athlete too. Defensively, they just
I don't know.
Together.
UTSA just lost to Texas State, so.
Oh yeah, the defense looked bad. I mean, they're a new look defense, but I just think the caliber of player at UTSA is higher than Utah State.
I just think consistency is still a problem. On offense, we look amazing at times, and other times we spiral out. I think with Reed, I just want Reed to be able to play his game, man. I hate when quarterbacks who are typically running quarterbacks, they make plays with their legs, and then going into the next year, you hear media talk about, is he a passer? So they force themselves to sit in the pocket and pass. Manziel did the same thing, if y'all remember going to 12-13. And it's just play your game, man. If your strength is your legs, then use your legs more.
I think his game is both. I think his game is using both, and I think probably really trying to hone in the pocket stuff in these first 2 games. But I agree, man. Be who you are. Play naturally. Play within yourself. But you got to get these playmakers involved. It has to be a little more of an emphasis when you know who's at the receiving end of your passes.
his only issue is like most quarterbacks. I mean, like I said, I'm impressed with Reed. I think he's made strides from last year. He seems more comfortable. There are times where he does throw inaccurate balls, and I think that's when he gets pressured, and it makes me nervous. It's like, don't freak out, man. You got to be poised. Also, Bethel Rowan had some bad drops in that Utah State game. That made him look kind of bad.
He had 2 bad drops in that game. Yeah, that was concerning. He had like 3 receptions after, but still, man, you can't drop first down conversions. We got to see better.
I expect A&M to play better. I think A&M could be a more scrappier team than Miami, but I do believe Notre Dame being at home, they are going to play better. I watched that Miami game multiple times, and they can be had. I don't think Notre Dame is as good as last year.
Yeah, I don't think they are either. I think they're still a really good like playoff caliber team.
Oh yeah,
I don't think they. I mean, I think they're really missing some of those guys. I think the Jack Kaiser piece really showed in that game. That can get better over the weeks. And Mills and Watts and blanking on the other defensive tackle's name, the smaller one. It was Riley Mills and Howard Cross. I think they're missing those 2 guys quite a bit. Yeah. But they'll adjust over the weeks. That was a week 1 for them too.
Because Miami, they had a little success running the football, I think. And their linebackers, I know people talk about them, but in the game, they looked very average to me.
I think they had a bad game. I think that whole 7 kind of had a bad game for Notre Dame.
That's their strength. But I think A&M, they have to establish a running game. Obviously, they establish a run game, and it opens up the pass. I don't know. I just think I think everybody feels good about the offense. Defensively, I'm just really nervous, man. Like, I just don't know, man. They have to play. I mean, Elko's got to play. He's got to coach a perfect game in a way against this, going up against Freeman.
Yeah.
It makes me a little nervous. I mean, after watching more preview videos, I am a lot more optimistic. I do think A&M has a roster to beat this team, but I didn't know the stats were that we haven't beat like a top 25 opponent away in like 10 years.
Shocking.
I was like, what, really?
It's insane.
And so I hope I understand, you and many others think that this is not like a must-win game, which you're right. It's not like a must-win game. There's still a lot of season left to play. But I think if A&M wants to get respect and they want to change the narrative and they want confidence and momentum going forward, you have to win this game.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. Like, you don't have to win it, but if you want to take a step right now and show that right now and instill confidence now, you have an opportunity right before you.
And I could be overreacting here, but I do think if we do lose this game and we do see a lot of those struggles we did see from the first 2 weeks, I don't see A&M going like 9-3 or 10-2. I think out of the 3 big away games, this is one of the more manageable ones that you have to win.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think you're right. I think Texas has shown more vulnerability. I think LSU is better than we thought.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's going to be Death Valley. That to me is the hardest one. I think Texas definitely has vulnerabilities. They're definitely – did you watch that Sark presser, actually?
That was weird.
Not to change the subject. That was a very weird response.
Yeah, like, why are you equating that to taking a dump? It's like throwing a pass and taking a dump are fundamentally different actions. I mean, why are we making that comparison?
Yeah, not to jab. I mean, I understand people don't like, news reporters or whatever, but that was a fair question.
Yeah.
And to say that response, I was like, all right. But anyways, back to
okay, I will say this, though. There was a clip, and then the full version, he's kind of joking around with the guy afterwards. So it wasn't maybe as offensive as the out-of-context clip made it sound. But it was a weird comment to make. It was a strange,
I was like, huh?
It was a strange, comparison. But all right, what's the score? You have Notre Dame winning, right?
I could see Notre Dame winning this by 2 scores. I think I could see it being like a 34-24 kind of game. I don't know. I think A&M. I think if A&M struggles to stop the run, I don't see them winning this game because you can't expect our offense to score every drive. Notre Dame's defense is good enough to get stops.
You think through 4 quarters against Notre Dame's defense, A&M's only going to score 4 times?
I think so. I think they're going to get pressure. I don't know. The offensive line, I know it's only been 2 games. They didn't look as dominant as I thought they were going to be. I don't know if obviously A&M treated the first 2 games like a scrimmage, which is like that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
But I think if A&M's O-line can dominate like we think they can, I think they'll score more.
Yeah.
But to be conservative, I just don't. I think they'll score more, obviously, than last year. I think they'll score more than 13 points. I think they'll be in the 20 range.
Yeah.
But my point is, will their defense be able to stop them? Because I don't know.
I'll say this: I think with like last year's A&M team, with like even B-level quarterback play, they do score 24 points in that game against a better Notre Dame defense, but at home.
And I think with me too, seeing the same stuff from last year on defense, it's a little disappointing just because I thought with Elko we'd be better coached defensively, they'd be more sound and not miss all these tackles.
Shit, so he felt the same way too. He was pissed about that. He was embarrassed.
That's a little. So I think if A&M, not to speak into the future, but I think if A&M has these same struggles throughout the season, I think you got to fire Jay Bateman. I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
Whoa, dude, you're like 10 steps ahead right now, Jeb.
I am. I mean, dude, you don't just fix that overnight.
Right.
If someone's bad at tackling, you're bad at tackling. You can't coach that.
Well, then it's not Jay Bateman's fault. Keep Jay Bateman.
But I mean, the secondary. You would think they're good at runs. They're just not. I don't see it, man. They're not.
I think Marcus Ratcliffe's a good run stopper. I just think we have problems maybe at the corner level and maybe at the other safety. I think Marcus Ratcliffe is a great tackler.
He's a good tackler, but I didn't see much of him last game, versus UTSA where he's flying all over the field.
They played a lot of Brooks last game because I think they tried to get him look. Okay. Yeah, he played a lot. I think Ratcliffe was in for the first drive, and we saw a lot of Brooks. I'll pull up the snap count. You might be right. He wasn't as dominant in the second game for sure.
Chappelle typically is a good tackler. I mean, I guess he's still trying to get into the swing of things, but Will Lee just always seems to run himself out of plays, and it just kind of bothers me. I assume that's what it is, with the run fits, with the linebacker. I think York, as much as I love York, if it's 3rd and long, he doesn't need to be on the field.
Yeah.
He is not good in pass protection. I think he's going to come back for his senior season. Not that, obviously, we're talking way in the future, but I don't see him being like a first rounder or anything. He's a great player, one of my favorite players on the team right now, but
yeah. All right, Ratcliffe had 56 snaps versus UTSA, and then he had 33 versus Utah State. So a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, okay. They wanted to work Brooks in. I trust our secondary to actually guard. Malachi Fields and Faison look pretty good. I think our pass rush. Did we get a sack in last year's game, or did we have 0 sacks? I can't remember.
Ooh, I think it was maybe 1 by Scorton. 1.
I think it was
1. I think it was like borderline. Like it didn't get recorded as a snap because the quarterback went down right at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, we'll get some sacks this game. We'll at least get 1 or 2.
Hey, but since you're looking into the future with Jay Bateman getting fired, what do you think our record is in 2032?
2032. Who do we play? I mean, I know we play. I mean, dude, come on. I mean, do you agree or no?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I think it's disastrous for sure. Something will happen. I think it could have happened this year, but you wouldn't get 3 or 2.
If it's the same mistakes from last year, it has to be coaching, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was never a big fan of the Jay Bateman hire, anyways. But I thought we could have got maybe a bigger name, but.
We'll see, man. I actually like the secondary a lot, especially in coverage. We'll see what happens in tackling. They do have to be better there. It'll be tested this weekend for sure.
Ricks has looked pretty good so far. I mean, they haven't been picking on him, but
Ricks is, I think, the only player who's played a certain amount of snaps that has not given up a reception in all of college football.
Did Julian Humphrey play last game? I don't think I saw his number out there.
I think he did play, but I think he played later in the game. I think
Is Zune supposed to play this game too as well?
I mean, we've heard yes. Elko said yes like 3 times, so we'll see. I hope so.
They asked Reed if he was going to be at the game, and he said yeah. But it's like, yeah, but are you going to be dressed? That's what I asked.
Who asked Reed?
We were talking about Reed, live stream with Concepcion, and we were just making jokes, and obviously Reed was like, yeah, I'm going to be at that game. Okay. And I want to be like, yeah, but are you going to be in pads?
Yeah, there was a clip on it. Yeah, that would suck if he's not. There's a clip on Instagram this week of him dressed out, and I'm hoping that was from this week in practice.
Oh, Reed has to be the guy because our quarterback depth behind him, it's either Reed or bust.
I agree. This year for sure. I mean, I like the tools that Miles has, but it's too early.
No, me and Noble were just talking in the chat. I'm actually not really high on O'Neal that much.
Really?
I just don't see it. I don't think he fits this offense. I mean, you got to think about it. He was, Jimbo's previous staff recruited him. I don't think he fits the offense. I think he's
Well,
I think he's
that's true, and also like we're in the problem we had last year. Why are we talking about injuries? But we're in the same problem we had last year, where it's like you built it for Connor, who's a very different stylistic
Right.
quarterback than Reed. Now you're going to build it for Reed, and you throw in a backup who's not Reed, and then that's a big shift. So let's just have no quarterback injuries ever. Let's just say
Yeah, I
that.
hope. I'm surprised we didn't see Zeno because I know Brady Hart got some reps, so I don't know if Zeno's like hurt.
I think Zeno's
Oh.
just on that retirement care package, just living it up. They're offering some leadership, maybe bringing some good vibes, maybe
Dude, to be
buying lunch
fourth
for the
I
team
don't-
with that NIL package. He's being a good
I don't-
teammate.
I don't think he's that. I think he's good enough to be a second stringer. I don't think he's that bad. O'Neal he just reminds me a lot like Zach Calzada. I think he throws a good, pretty ball. He has a strong arm, but his release is really slow. And he reminds me of Nick Starkel out there running the football. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, he's." Billy Lucci trying to sell us the fact that he can run, he can move a little bit. That dude can't move.
Jeb, who are you high on right now for A&M?
Like, who am I high on?
Yeah, who do you like?
Am I being too negative? Is that
No.
what you're implying?
I just need a cleanse. Who do you like?
I mean, Concepcion looks amazing. Kramer looks amazing. We thought those two looked really good.
Yeah.
Obviously, Moss. I think people, because we've been talking about Concepcion so much, I mean, I think Moss, we forget Moss.
Yeah,
is still
yeah.
really good. Ruben looks okay so far.
I think he got more comfortable from game 1 to game 2. I think he looked a little bit more explosive in game 2, actually.
Right. I think I like Daniels a little more. I think Daniels has a little more burst.
Any questions for Jeb? Throw them into the chat right now. They're saying you might be worried about Cassius Howell.
No, I'm a big believer in Cassius. I'm a believer he's going to be a first rounder if he has like a 10, 12 sack season. Dude's going to be a first rounder.
Did you see how Ruben Bain took over the game versus Notre Dame?
Oh yeah, dude.
Can Howell do that?
Oh, absolutely, man. Dude, Notre Dame's offensive line did not look good in that game.
No, they didn't. That's why I changed my pick. That is the main reason.
And dude, I really hate Notre Dame, man. I don't know what it is. And I'm a proud Catholic myself. You would think I used to like Notre Dame when I was younger with the Charlie Wise, Brady Quinn days.
Yeah.
But since then, dude, like, I just don't like them, man.
How can you not like Marcus Freeman? Look, the guy's handsome, the guy's athletic, the guy's a good coach, the guy's been to a national champion, the guy can spit it, man. Have you heard him at the podium? He has that
traditional handsome man. Okay, yeah,
traditional handsome man.
I like Marcus Freeman. I just don't like Notre Dame. And even my dad called me during the Miami game. He goes, "Can you believe this school is playing on Sunday?"
Shit, that's true.
We were just laughing. We were just a little bit of Catholic jokes.
Yeah,
but I was like,
it would be like Chick-fil-A and just like say, no, we're not playing.
It gave me more fuel to hate them even more. But what was I gonna say?
All right, so far, Jeb hates Notre Dame. He hates A&M. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you.
It's fine. Well, they say, I mean, like you said, this is a desperate game for Notre Dame because they don't want to go 0-2. They go 0-2. They say the rest of their schedule is like really weak.
It is. They're going to need like a team, like maybe USC, to go on a streak and win it. That's why this is the game for them. This is their. Everyone jokes with Notre Dame. Like when you beat Notre Dame, everyone's like, the Notre Dame says you're their Super Bowl because we're Notre Dame. Okay. This game is actually Notre Dame's like playoff game, not Super Bowl, but this is like a playoff game for them.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily just us. It's not us. It's their scenario.
They haven't been that dumb. They need to join a freaking conference. I'm tired of them being able to handpick their schedule, dude.
Yeah.
They need to join like the Big Ten. Well, now the Big Ten's pretty full, but they need to join a conference. I mean, they haven't been that. I don't know why their fans are like that. They haven't been that dumb. That was their first national championship attendance since when? I don't even remember the last time they went to a natty, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a Notre Dame fan asking, what made Jeff, why do you hate Notre Dame so bad? That's what they're asking. You're explaining it, but they don't get it.
I think the cockiness of the fan base, and I just don't. I think from a personal aspect, I don't think they really hold. I think some of them are kind of phonies. I'm getting personal here.
You're going deep here. This isn't me. This is my caller. I have no control.
As a Catholic, I don't truly believe their morals really follow like the Catholic lines. Like, I don't believe that. I don't believe them at all.
Dude, this just got deep and kind of dark.
In the past, they've had players with bad attitudes and bad reputations.
They're mean.
It's like, yeah, you're supposed to be a Catholic school. Like, you're not supposed to have. You're supposed to be about morals and honor. Sorry, I'm getting deep here, guys. I'm getting deep here. This is like my truly hate. That's when I kind of started like hating them a little bit. I was like, oh, they're a bunch of phonies, dude. They're not real. and now they sell alcohol.
Wow, that's
Which I mean, I'm a hypocrite. I mean, Catholics drink alcohol, so
100%, dude. Yeah, even on Sundays.
that's my little rant about Notre Dame. And I think some of my old buddies that I used to work with too that I really disliked, they were all Notre Dame fans because they went, they went to Catholic school.
So there's the personal connection that all comes forward.
That's another one.
It's those damn buddies, dude. Those damn Notre Dame buddies. They showed you the truth.
Oh, it's just like my Longhorn buddies, man. Growing up, I was never really like a Longhorn hater until I ran into them, and they really made me hate Texas after that.
Whoa, Skate Rat, well, you just provoked him. He said, you Aggie fans have no room to tell Notre Dame fans to join a conference. Average 8 wins a year aside from Johnny Manziel. Big 12 rejects. You have no room to talk. Sorry, y'all provoked me. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Kick him out of the chat. Ban him from the channel. Get him out now, mods.
Notre Dame wasn't really much of anything in the early 2000s.
Kick
either.
him.
I mean, they weren't really doing much. They were averaging 8 wins
Trace
as well.
his IP.
I remember the Carlisle years from the early 2000s. They were bad.
Yeah.
Before Charlie Weiss got there. They actually interviewed Charlie Weiss for this game. I need to watch that.
Did they really? They just interviewed Elko. They just NBC just had a sit down with Elko. How weird is it going to be to watch A&M on NBC? What is that?
Yeah, dude. How is this not the game? How is this not game? I thought it was going to be game day. Apparently,
well, it's because ESPN doesn't have it. It's because ESPN doesn't have the game. That's
it
why.
should be. This game is a complete I think both teams are pretty evenly matched in a sense. So I don't know how. I mean, no one feels confident. No one feels confident with who they're choosing. Like, yeah, I'm choosing Notre Dame, but obviously, I feel A&M can win. I'm not gonna say A&M has no chance at all.
Well, you picked a 2-score game. That makes it look pretty iffy. You look pretty dicey in that pick.
Because I'm not a believer in I think our defense. I'm not a believer, man. I just from what I've seen from those 2 games, they cleaned it up against inferior opponents, but Notre Dame has talent. This is going to be a different animal. But Notre Dame's going to be motivated, I think.
Yeah.
But obviously, I think my pick was – my score was probably a little obscured, but I could see it. I mean, this game could be a shootout. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I'm not trying to convince you. I mean, your pick is fair, man. It's definitely a possible outcome here. We're going to pick A&M. We love A&M. We don't see things clearly, so I respect your pick. It's totally fair.
And Reed, man, he literally only throws it to Concepcion, man. Doesn't it feel that way?
He only throws to Concepcion?
I feel like he only throws it to Concepcion.
Dude, he threw a touchdown to Bussy last game. He threw a touchdown to Thor the game before. He's thrown 4 freaking touchdowns to Craver. 3. One was O'Neal. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
You're just on one today, man. You're on one today.
I'm held emotionally hostage right now.
Were you watching the game at a bar?
I think so. I have a few friends from Dallas coming down. They're coming over to my house. I think we're gonna watch half the game at my house, and then we might go to a bar.
Yeah.
To watch this. I haven't decided. It depends how I feel. What about you? Oh yeah, you're doing the live show.
I'm on the live show. So after the bar, if somehow we win the game, I'll be on all night. So you better call in after the bar on the.
I'll drop in here and there. Okay. So
okay.
if we win, dude, like some guy said in the comments, you gotta oil up.
Oil up, take everything off besides the short shorts and oil up and rub my nipples or something. I'll do it on stream. I'll do it if we win. I'll do anything if we win. Anything. I'll do anything for an Aggie win. There's nothing I won't do.
I'll definitely be on cloud 9 if we win. Just because I know. Do we have a bye after this game?
We have a bye, and then we have a homestand.
How does Notre Dame have a bye in week 2? How is that even a thing?
I know. It's because they had the game on Sunday, I think, and they don't want to give them a short week after.
Here's my other opposition. So I do think, like I've said before in the past, I do think getting Notre Dame early could somewhat benefit us in a way. It's to me, it's similar to Florida's matchup last year. We got Florida early. We were able to dominate them, but then Florida progressed as the season went on, and they looked really good. I honestly think if we would have played Florida late in their year, we wouldn't have won that game.
Well, now we're going back in time, Jeb. What are we doing? What are we doing?
With the run that Florida had last year at the end of the year and how bad we were in November, you'd think we would have beaten Florida.
Well, we wouldn't have had Le'Veon Moss, so that's a good point.
We would have. There's no way we would have beaten Florida last year with how we were playing. With how we were playing in November, and Florida was getting better. To me, this is similar. I can see a situation.
Well, we wouldn't have lost to Auburn if we played them in September.
That's true. Exactly. So I think getting this game early could maybe.
If my
maybe
aunt had wheels, she'd be a bicycle.
Maybe I'm talking out of my ass right now.
You're just reaching in there and throwing anything that sticks. All right, Jeb, give me one closing thought here. Anything you want.
I think I need this game for my mental health. That's my that's my close. I need this game. I've been waiting for this game since Monday. I haven't been able to sleep well. I haven't been focused at work. My boss asked me if I was all right, if I was dealing with anything at home.
Really?
And, I've been zoned in, man. Like that's how much I'm a slave to the game, dude. It's sad. It's really pathetic.
Me too, man. Me too. We gotta win. We gotta win it.
Oh shoot!
For our sakes, for us on the couch, they gotta win for the couch potatoes, man. That's what they gotta do. They gotta think of us in this game. When it's 4th and 1, game on the line, think of Jeb at the bar. Think of Drew in this chair. Think of big sweaty Ag on the couch, just puddle of sweat, drenched. Think about us. You're doing it for us.
I'll be drinking a lot of IPAs, and I don't even like IPAs.
You're gonna be sweating thick, dude. You're gonna be your sweat's gonna be a lot of viscosity.
I am preparing myself because if we do lose this game, I know. I mean, even though when I predict us to lose, I still get pissed. I still get it still upsets me. We're gonna be out most likely, so I know it's gonna dampen my mood, and then.
Dude, that's very true because, the way I project this year is I don't think A&M wins this game, and we kind of get better over the course of the year. I think our defense can get better over the weeks, and we win 9 games. We're not a playoff team. Maybe 8 games. If you win this one, that all changes.
I just hope that they're going to be more motivated in this game and that all that sloppiness we saw from the first 2 weeks, they clean it up. And they're more motivated, and obviously this is a bigger matchup, so I'm sure A&M typically does get up for these games when they're usually at home. Away is a different animal, but I am expecting a close game.
All right.
I think we have to get pressure on them. I think we have to create turnovers. I mean, it's the simple stuff, right? Create turnovers, less penalties, less killing drives, stuff like that. How do you feel about us against Florida, though, man? Are you going to change your pick against Florida?
We're far from that, but I'm leaning that way. Let's see how they look on the road at LSU this week. Let's see some more. Because what if South Florida is just the truth and this is 2007 all over again?
Oh, I know. 2 top 25 teams. They play Miami this weekend, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of good games this weekend.
It's a really good weekend.
Arkansas plays Ole Miss. Now we're going to see how good Arkansas is.
Georgia, Tennessee.
Georgia, Tennessee is a good one. I do want to watch that Florida LSU. I'm actually taking Florida.
Ooh, really? At LSU? Look, man, I finally watched that entire LSU Clemson game, and of course LSU looks better than expected in my opinion. They won on the road at Clemson. I also think Clemson had some really stupid plays in the game. LSU's better than I thought. I don't look at them as like a juggernaut yet. Deserves to be rank 1 like some people thought after that game, but they could be really good, man. LSU could be really, really good this year. They have the defense now, I think. And now I don't know if their running game is going to get established to the level they want to, but really they needed to either have the defense or high-level offensive line play.
Right.
I think they have the defense.
They'll be scary. If they get a defense, they're going to be a pretty scary team. But I'm also not a fan. I know people are really high on Clemson. I kind of wasn't. I'm just not a big fan of K. Klubnik. I just don't think he's that good.
I was not impressed with him in that game. He can make some really good throws, but do you notice he gets like rollout happy? It'll be like a clean pocket. He just rolls out, makes things harder for himself, cuts the field in half. We'll see. Clemson versus Georgia Tech's interesting this weekend.
Ooh, they have that as an upset alert for Georgia Tech. I think I'm going to go with Georgia Tech in this
I'm going to go with Clemson. I think I'm going to bet Clemson in this one. I think Clemson gets it together. I do.
And then we see our boy Wigman. He plays Colorado tomorrow.
That's so true. That's fun.
That's a fun one, man. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hopefully next time we talk, we'll be laughing and enjoying ourselves instead of crying and group therapy.
It's one of two, man. It's one of two. All right, Jeb. Have a night. Later.
All right, man. Good night, fellas.
Later. All right, guys, I am going to shut down the calls there. It's already over 2 hours into the show. Tyler, Josh, hope to hear from you guys in the future. I do have to shut this thing down. I'll take a couple more comments in the chat, though. I'll talk with you guys there for a bit. Thank you so much for tuning in. This will be a fun show. It's the eve of the biggest game of the year so far. Eve of the start of it all. Thank you for being here. If you're new, drop a sub. It helps me out. You can set it and forget it. Just help me out. I'm trying to grow this. I'm going to keep doing this all year. Shout out to RHOBACK for sponsoring the channel. 20% off code Drewtamu. They have some really good stuff, including the hoodies. They have this in white. You can match the icy whites, or in black. You can match the blackout versus Mississippi State. It's going to be fun. All right, let's check in with the chat, then we're going to get out of here. Type any questions, any last talking points you want me to cover. Throw them in the chat now. Then we're going to get out of here. Jeb has joined the dark side with me. Y'all are deep in the dark side. Let's just let A&M prove it. Y'all are allowed to be in the dark side. Is this chippiness a preview of the game? It could be chippy, man. This is a high-level game. It's a high-level game. I think they're both well-coached teams, though, so maybe not too chippy, but there will be some chip. There's some chip around the corner. Sorry, my bad. He sounded serious. Skate, I don't even have mods. I was just screwing with you. I have Longhorns that are regulars on this channel that just chirp the whole time and they don't get kicked out. As long as you don't like make fun of me and talk about how dead sexy I am, then we're good. You just can't do that. Notre Dame wins as long as Denbrock regains competence. I expect y'all to run the hell out of the ball. I absolutely expect you to give Jeremiah Love 15-plus carries, Price 10-plus carries. You're going to do it because we've shown weakness there. You're going to try it. And I feel like in game one, Denbrock got a little bit too cute. He played the matchup more so than he should have played your personnel. But there's this one shadow of doubt in my head. I try to be honest about Notre Dame. I'm going to be honest about opponents. Of course, I look through maroon color lenses, so be fair. There looked like there might have been a lack of trust in the offensive line in the game plan they chose against Miami. But to be fair, Miami's defensive line might be the best in the country. But it looked like a game plan to protect an offensive line. RPO heavy, short pass heavy, screen heavy. That's how you protect an offensive line. So I feel like they're going to think they have an opportunity to get after it versus A&M's D-line. They're going to test it. They're going to see how it goes. They're going to do more design runs this game, Skate Rat. That's the game plan. That's what they're going to do. I'd be shocked if they don't. I'd be shocked if they get cute with it again. Football gang is loose. We're loose. If we lose, the score is 27-31. Yeah, I think we're scoring. Stephen McGee, shout out, dude. Hell yeah, Jack. Stephen McGee indeed. I have no idea with the hypothetical matchup against Florida. Also doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not there yet. This is such a lock-in kind of game this weekend. Jeb was going future, past, and alternate realities with us. Maybe when the Big Ten requires USC to go to South Bend Thanksgiving weekend instead of mid-October, Notre Dame will join. Doesn't seem like Notre Dame's in any hurry to join a conference. Are we worried Le'Veon isn't healthy and can't match pre-injury production? Sorry if this has been talked about, just logged on. I definitely think his injury status, or no, his recovery is something to watch. I definitely don't think he's 100%, but he's a really, really good ball carrier. And what he did last year that made him so good is he became a good cerebral running back too. He had all the physicals before, but credit Trooper Taylor, credit the offensive line. What Le'Veon does so well is he follows blockers. He lets plays develop. So even if he's not 100% athletically, I think he brings a lot of utility in that he takes what's given. He doesn't get bounce happy. He doesn't get too cute. He just lowers his head and goes forward. So I think you can get productivity even out of this Le'Veon Moss because he has great instincts. And I think the 10 carries versus Utah State was extremely encouraging. It's a lot of carries. I thought he'd have like 6 versus Utah State. It's week 3 and Jeb's already off a cliff. Week 3 and Notre Dame's in a must-win game. Week 3, Jeb's on the cliff. Week 3, battered Adam Aggie syndrome is running rampant. College football, baby. College football. We can lose this game and still have a chance, yeah. If they can actually run the ball like they're supposed to, they'll be fine. I just want to see your offensive line, if I'm Notre Dame, maul and be what they're supposed to be because they weren't in week 1. But I agree. That's why I picked Notre Dame initially to win this game. Because I think that O-line going into the year, Joe Moore, finalist offensive line, best running back in the country. This win will help a lot, but it's not a must-win. Conference is the most important. 100%. You're totally right. You're totally right. Picks Florida over LSU after they lost to USF, but we're going to lose by 2 scores Notre Dame against the new quarterback. Jeb was just on one today. Jeb was feeling it today. I thought Carr looked good running. Here's how you go far. Let your stars be stars. Don't try to make everyone happy. I don't even know if it's about making everyone happy. I think there was 3 main factors. Miami's weakness last year was the secondary. Game plan, target the secondary, make them make decisions. You're breaking in a new quarterback. Short passes will help with that. There is maybe lack of trust in this offensive line against that Miami front. And late in the game, when you had to drop back that show, there was a lot of pressure in CJ Carr's face. So they weren't going to throw the ball deep knowing that as often as maybe you would think. And maybe they didn't trust the running game against that front. And if you look at Love's Average, it was only 3.3 yards per carry on 10 carries. Pierce averaged more, but most of that was on one bounce out run. I mean, they maybe just felt like they didn't have the advantage in the trenches that game, and they felt like passing was the path to winning. I understand, like, wanting them to just force feed your superstar. I understand that completely, and they could have tried that for sure. But Notre Dame was in that game with a chance to win it, while their defense, I think, played a bad game. And that back seven that is extremely high level, playing not up to their standard, you were still right there to win the game. So it led you to something there, and I think Miami's really good. Has put the RPO to the side. He's not going to do that. I don't think he'll put it to the side. I think he'll use it less, though. Will I be live tomorrow? No, I'll be live during the game, Skate Rat, if you want to come in, and I'll be available for calls after. Later, Caps. Thanks for calling in, man. It was good to hear from you today. Hey, we beat Miami after we lost to App State. That's true. Later, play to win. Thanks for being here. I'm taking Florida. I don't think they'll win. Wow. This is fun. If you were coming to South Bend, I would give you a tour around campus. I wish I was going, man. The budget didn't allow for it. I got married this summer. I had like 3 bachelor parties, 2 weddings, a bunch of travel. I'm broke. Well, I'm at a point where I have to budget. So we're budgeting. Tyler, I love that you're begging to come on, but I got to go. I haven't even eaten. I got a wife. Surprisingly, I have a life, but not much. So I have to cling to the little I have. Guys, I'm going to get on like 3 o'clock, 2:30, somewhere in there, 4 at the latest on Saturday. I'm going to be with you guys for like, if we win, 12 hours. If we lose, probably like 8 hours. So don't get sick of me. I'll be back for we'll be on a long time Saturday. I'm thinking about changing this to a standing desk tomorrow night so I don't sit, because if I sit on this chair too long, my back really hurts. This chair sucks. It looks good though, but it sucks, and I'm broke, so I can't get a new one. I'm all actions over words. I have to prove it. That's fair. That's fair. You have important. Just put it in the chat, Tyler. I already closed the app. Make the Aggie Cup a thing. You want the Aggie Cup? A&M plays New Mexico and Utah State every year. The winner gets the Aggie Cup, so the Aggies can prove that they're the real Aggies every year. It's not a bad idea, Jack. Me and Fitch going to be locked. ABR game-winning touchdown. Ooh, ABR getting it. All right, Nick. If you get that, I'm just going to throw you in the Hall of Fame. That's too bold. If you get that, I'll throw you in the Hall of Fame. Y'all throw bold takes in. If one of these bold takes hits, I'm throwing it in the Hall of Fame. Real quick. I only have like 5 minutes left. Missed out because I was putting the kids to bed early. Hopefully I can get on the mic next time. Heck yeah, JD. We'll be live Saturday, man, for the game. If y'all are home watching the game, the watch parties are a blast. The chat is like worth coming alone, but you can also see me freaking out and crying and sweating with you, and it makes me feel better to do that with people. A&M wins, controlling the lines on the lines of scrimmage. Okay, I like it, man. I like it. If A&M wins, you have to shave your eyebrows. What if I shave my beard? I've thought about doing that, but I think I save that for like higher stakes. Like if A&M has a playoff game or a playoff on the line, I think we maybe shave the beard. Don't clip what I just did with my hand in my mouth there. Chris Ash needs to understand Viamuasu. Kingston Viamuasu was a freshman All-American linebacker last year, and for some stupid reason they don't start him and only give him 40 snaps. What the hell is that all about? Because they believe in Drake Bowen, who's been there a long time. They believe in Jalen Snead, who's been there a long time. There's that other linebacker. I forget what number he is. I am with you, though. Viamuasu stands out every time I watch Notre Dame. I think he might be like one of your best defensive players. He's super impactful in run and pass. He looks like an edge rushing build, but he can do everything. I hope you don't play KVA against us. KVA, y'all, he's like number 41, Hawaiian. He's really good. Their holder is a former quarterback. Watch for the special teams trick play if it comes to it. But guess our regular offense trick plays. Both receivers know how to throw. Dude, we weren't supposed to talk about that, Tyler. Okay, I'll bring it up. KC Concepcion has thrown passes for NC State. Terry Bussey was a quarterback in high school. I'll leave it at that. Skater, don't you go texting Freeman right now. Don't you go be texting Chris Ash right now. Aggie fans in South Bend, I believe from noon to 5, they will, while you will have to pay, you can go through the tunnel tomorrow. It could be wrong. That'd be cool. I would love to do that. Congrats on getting married. Thank you. Good night, Jeb. Later. I appreciate that, Skate Rat. Appreciate you being here, man. I love it when the opposing fan base gets in here. Only a couple of y'all tonight, but we've had a bunch in the comments this week. I love getting the opposing fan base in, unless it's Texas. Some of them are cool, but usually the ones that come to this channel are not the cool ones. Haven't eaten. It's 10:30. I know. I had a snack. I had cereal before. Cereal's healthy. People talking about last year Reed when pressured, but defense lost those games. True, man. 100%. 100%. I would start late if you plan to stay up late. Good call. Good call. I'm booked Saturday, brother. Oh, okay. Postgame. Call in postgame. If we win, I'll be on for probably 3 hours postgame. If we lose, it'll just be like I do a quick statement, take calls, get out. If we win, there'll be music, there'll be subtle dancing, there will be oiling and lathering of the body. Probably not going to do that, but we'll be crazy. Fitch is not locked in. He just bought an arch. Fitch! The hell, man? Cassius will repeat 3 sacks. He has a chance to make a lot of money this weekend. Like, honestly, the opportunity this weekend after following up that 3-sack performance. Marcel scrambles down to the 7-yard line with 10 seconds left. The last play is a whip route touchdown to Concepcion. Remind me. I already forgot what you said, but I love it. Tyler Buckner, watch him on a fake field goal. Tyler Buckner, watching him. Field goal holder. Goal line stand by the Aggie defense to preserve a 27-21 win. Oh, that would be glorious. I'd be so high. I just got hyped reading that, Aaron. Welcome back to the States, by the way. I saw your comment earlier. I don't think I highlighted it. Welcome back. Enjoy the game. 27. That's right. 27 is KVA. Really good player. Running on Aggie spirit at this point, I am. On fumes. We'll enjoy the game and be okay if close the gap in an actual performance versus expected performance based on talent and staff. But you know what? Overdue for a statement and not 7-4. Let's go. Going through the tunnel used to be free. I used to do that all the time. That sounds epic. It's a historic place. I might watch Rudy. And then I might watch the episode of Stranger Things where Sean Austin dies just to flush it because I have to go against Rudy this week. Issue might be bringing players back to earth, be consistent. I'm telling you right now, my next call might be talking about the exact problem with you and I. Hope it is. I hope that's the problem we have. Sucks I might miss most of the game because I can't reschedule the flight. Oh, Ronnie. I saw your messages earlier. Sorry, I was on a call. Good to see you, Ronnie. I hope you can make it, man. Or I hope maybe your flight, like maybe worth paying for the internet on there to watch the game. How about you get on the Always Irish show tomorrow? Is he doing live tomorrow? I can't. Friday's dedicated family night. I have to dedicate family night because I dedicate so much time to the channel. I'm a one-man show. I love Always Irish. Y'all got a great YouTube presence. Y'all really do, Skate Rap. Grayson can't keep getting away with this. Jet lag is real. I'll be good Saturday. All right, y'all. Hell of a show. Like and sub. Shout out RHOBACK. 20% off code Drewtamu. Y'all check them out. They're in the description. If you're going to buy RHOBACK, please use my code. It helps me a lot. Really excited to be partnered with them. But guys, I'll see y'all Saturday. I'm not doing anything tomorrow. My videos for the week are what they are. I've said my piece. Let's go beat the hell out of Notre Dame. Thank you, guys.